This is your season. It begins here.
What is up, everybody? Mike of Fights with Friends. Just to get a few quick things out of the way. All sponsorships, announcements from any companies on this channel, on this stream. I am financially compensated anytime you buy anything on here. Any super chats, of course, the main portion goes to me. Portion is taken by YouTube for their services. A percentage. Just got to get that out of the way. I always forget that. And we got a football game. We had a Seahawks and Cardinals football game earlier. Was not super competitive. But we're here to do the Sunday night football game. It was definitely fun for me while I was watching as a Seahawks fan. But now we're going to do the Cowboys and the Saints. I don't know how much more competitive that one's going to be. But what's going on? Peter Ordinary, as always. Hi, in the house. We got Cal L in the house. What is going on, my friends? This show goes live, or the actual game starts live in 16 minutes. I wanted to get on here, though, so we were ready, and I've been requested by a few of my sponsors, get some of these sponsorships out of the way early and often. A few more reads, so just to hear at the beginning, bear with me. This broadcast brought to you by Grubhub. Guys, I know you're hungry. It's a football game. And I know you want beer. You're a human being. Now Grubhub serves both these things together. So you don't have to drive. There's no more excuse for drinking and driving. There's no more excuse for driving going out because, you had, puffed the Magic Dragon one extra time. It's there's no excuse for it anymore, and there's no reason for it. It's a very good thing. We got Grubhub. They deliver to most restaurants, over 3,500 restaurants throughout the country. $12 off your first order. They are hooking the Fights with Friends family up. Absolutely. I've used them. They are incredible. These guys are great. So whenever you want, beer and pizza, I did it through Domino's before. Now, I guess Pizza Hut just announced that they are also delivering beer with their pizza. You can order beer with your pizza through Grubhub. Just real quick, during this flu season, guys, On It wanted me to give you a special shout out because it's flu season. It's that time people are getting sick. It sucks. It's bullshit. It's not acceptable to get sick. Absolutely not acceptable. Somebody gets me sick, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to come after you. You don't get me sick. There's no excuse for that. On It. Get your Shroom Tech Immune. Right now, they have a free trial of Shroom Tech Immune during flu season just to keep you guys, keep you guys well and optimize. On It's been with us for a while, and I really appreciate them. Thank you again to On It, and thank you to Paul Kolka for setting everyone up with that free trial, including myself. I get to get out there. Even though I've tried it before, they're still giving me a free 30 tablet bottle of Shroom Tech Immune. Stuff is absolutely wonderful. All right, enough with the sponsors for now. What's going on, PBR Street Gang? With the donation once again. My wife was just telling me to tell you guys thank you for all the donations and stuff, because believe it or not, she's a woman and she loves money. Who'd have thought, right? Not that just women love money. But no, she seriously wanted me to thank a lot of you guys for everything you've done throughout the Fights with Friends name. And all the donations and everything. Of course, if you're just coming in, I got to start this out like this. Now, Fights with Friends is not changing. None of the fights are going away. None of the boxing. None of the MMA. What happens on October 1st, that Tuesday, is the name is changed basically for YouTube algorithm reasons only. They don't like the words Fights and Friends together. They'll let me do it, but they're not going to promote me as much, and they're not going to allow me to be promoted through videos and stuff as much. So October 1st, that show, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, we'll switch over to Mike's Sports Experience. And somebody's working on that logo as we speak. I was a little demanding. He told me today it's taking him a little bit longer, but... Mike, let me eat real fast. I'll join you. All right, Billy. Sounds good, man. Billy knows more about the football. He knows more about most sports than me. But definitely knows more about the football. I'm getting back into it. These first couple of games, especially the first few games that I did this, you kind of feel like a fool sometimes. Because you're doing something new. You're doing something, else. It's not exactly new, and I used to watch a lot of football, but it is different than what I'm doing with the MMA every week. What's up, YTB Gameplay with the donation, 0.99. Thank you very much, sir. So the great philosopher Carl Jung said sometimes in life you got to play the fool to become a better human being. Something to that extent. Says sometimes you have to play the fool to grow as a person. And basically what he was saying is whenever you start something new, which is, you know, the non-MMA stuff, and especially as far as commentating, that's new for me. He says you got to play the fool because you're getting better at something again. But it's okay to play the fool because sometimes, you know, if you don't play the fool, then you're not going to grow as a human being. You keep doing what's comfortable to you. You keep sitting and, you know, avoiding difficult things, then you're not going to grow. And I think he's exactly right. How can I stream this game before free? You got to have it on antenna, man, I guess. That's the only thing. That's my only guess, Pulse. I am actually watching this on Hulu Plus. I have not gotten the antenna. I did not get the antenna hooked up. Not on my Sling deal right now. Sorry, Sling. But Hulu Plus, my wife likes the Hulu Live thing. And we're doing this whole dumbass bundle thing because my wife wants the Disney. She wants this new Disney streaming service. I want the ESPN Plus, of course. Then the Hulu Live. We were already paying for Hulu without the commercials because commercials, who's got time for that crap? So I like it so far. And I won't say too much about it. I'm going to do a review on it. They are not sponsoring me at the moment. But I will throw up an honest review over on Mike Reviews It All. And give you guys, you know, since I'm not getting paid, not that I wouldn't tell you the bad things anyways, because I definitely would. But since they're not paying me, I mean, you definitely know I will come out, I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, this is on NBC Sports, if you're following along. So stoked for McFarlane versus Cyborg. I kept saying, Ray Oliver, I kept on saying it was Alila Lee McFarlane versus Cyborg. It's Julia Budd versus Cyborg. I think Alila's a little lighter. She is their, you know, their most noticeable female champion, most well-known by far. Especially, I'm sure, you know, because of her Hawaii presence, they really push her. There's not much going on as far as MMA in Hawaii. I mean, they got Max Holloway, but the UFC still hasn't even visited him. UFC still hasn't graced Hawaii with their presence. So they love Alila McFarlane, and people that watch Bellator, she's became, you know, the darling of a lot of fans there. And she's cute. I mean, can't deny that. How much you spend monthly on streaming? What am I counting, Pulse Reloaded? If you're not counting, like, paying for pay-per-views or single fights, for my Hulu Plus, everything's on the Hulu Plus now, I guess. So it's $45 for Hulu Plus Live, and then I pay an extra $5 to not get commercials. So it'll be $49.99 plus tax, just under $55 a month. Too much if you ask me, but because I use it for this, it's worth it for me. Yeah, it'd be nice to get sponsored by somebody that paid for my cable. That is a great idea. I'm going to email Mike Reviews It All. Oh, Jesus Christ, Peter. What's going on? JJ Smith in the house. All right, why am I doing the Dallas Cowboys? Besides the fact that it is the only Sunday night game. I didn't have to do a Sunday night game. They are very presuming, calling themselves America's team. And back in the day, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, I mean, they had a ton of talent on that. They went through a lot of Super Bowls. You know, it seemed like it was back and forth them, San Francisco and Dallas. Whoever won the conference championship, they were going to win the Super Bowl, literally. Literally, back and forth, back and forth. For a while, it was whoever had Deion Sanders. But I think Dallas Cowboys are probably the most popular and most alienating team in the league. Because nobody really seems to not care about the Cowboys. Either you're a Cowboys fan or you can't stand the Cowboys. But everybody's got an opinion. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, these guys are putting together, another big team. Cowboys are America's teams, as Pulse Reloaded. Hell yeah, this is awesome. You're branching out. Thank you, JJ Smith. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys going on this journey with me. What's going on? Adam from Allen in the house. Good to see you, my friend. And I was doing the Seahawks versus Cardinals game earlier. A lot of you were here for that. Some of you weren't, so good to see more people were able to make it. I did stop it just after halftime because it was a blowout, and I'm like, man, I'm going to get a nap because I haven't gotten much sleep last couple days. So I'm like, I'm going to get a nap before this one so I'm fresh for the Cowboys and the Saints. Well, thank you, Adam. Yes, and like I said before, remember, Fights with Friends, October 1st becomes Mike's Sports Experience. Still all the fights, just more different kinds of sports and things. And the experience part of it is I'm going to bring in some music. And that's going to change some depending on your guys' recommendations. And just, an expression of myself, what I want to do with this channel, what fun I'm having. But I've always felt that live sports and music go together. I feel like when a fighter is coming out to the cage, if he's coming out to Eminem, especially if he's like the main event, Eminem, there's no reason that Eminem shouldn't be walking and rapping with him as he comes down to the cage. Unless Eminem, of course, doesn't want to. Metallica playing live. Before UFC 245. Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, or some hip-hop rappers or something like that. Especially these smaller shows and stuff. I just think it really goes together. I'm going to have some independent artists on here that allow me to use their music in exchange for getting some exposure. So if you guys will hear some music that you've never heard before, you may not be able to hear it anywhere else. Hello, Billy. Going good. Yeah, Billy. In the house, the time bender. He will be on the mic with me here in a minute. New Orleans kicks the ball off. And here we go. And it's going to go out the back of the end zone. And 3-0, the Dallas Cowboys will take over against the 2-1 New Orleans Saints. Dallas Cowboys led by Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Randall Cobb, Devin Smith at wide receiver, Jason Witten, longtime tight end. These guys have a lot of talent. I mean, this offense is built to go deep into the playoffs. And here we go. Dallas with the ball. The snap. Dak Prescott over the top and a completion. Amari Cooper brings that one down about 4 yards. He's stopped immediately. But Dak Prescott's rating, highest in the NFL right now, 128. 9 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, 920 passing yards through 3 games. That's insane. It was actually a 7-yard pass. 2nd and 3 for the Dallas Cowboys. And Prescott's going to hand it off to Elliott, and he's going to do a little sidestep and pick up about 5 yards here. He likes to juke and jive in between the blocks, kind of like Emmitt Smith. Kind of somewhat similar. And, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, to get a top quarterback and a top running back together at the same time, I mean, they put a few more pieces around it. Like I said, these guys they can do anything. They could win the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott back over the top. Catches longtime tight end number 82, Jason Witten. And that's good for about 5 yards, 1st and 10. And watch Jason Witten running here, unabated. He runs, he stops, he catches. Who blew their assignment? Who was supposed to be covering Jason Witten? One of the best tight ends maybe in the history of the game. And Prescott back, he's going to hand it off to Elliott, and the Saints shut him down. And Ariel Davis, number 56, is pumped on that one. Let's look at this line. David Onyemata, Malcolm Brown, Marcus Davenport. Got some big defensive ends, especially up front here for these New Orleans Saints. You got Von Bell, Marcus Williams. A lot of good defensive standouts. Prescott with some time being flushed out of the pocket. He's going to have to throw it up. Ends up throwing it away. It almost looked like he was going to throw into an interception there for a minute. Because the only place that ball was going was where two Saints defenders were. But he throws it out of bounds. And 3rd and 10. Look at number 94 on the outside. Blows by his defender. Forces Dak Prescott to flush out of the pocket. 12:37 left in the first. 3rd and 10. Cowboys with the ball. And Cowboys in the no huddle. Very, very loud here. 1 second. Oh, they barely made the play caught. Prescott's got time. Catch the receiver over the middle. He gets Ezekiel Elliott. But not enough for a first down. That's going to be a 4th down. And the Cowboys are going to have to punt. We're going to get to see the New Orleans Saints with the ball, who are missing starting quarterback Drew Brees. Drew Brees underwent thumb surgery a few weeks ago. It's going to be quite a while before he's back, even if he's back before the end of the season. He is 40 years old now. And there is the punt. New Orleans calls for the fair catch about the 12-yard line. And Cowboys cannot score in the first possession of the game. It is 0-0. And we got a commercial, so let's throw out some trivia. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's just Cowboys suck. Just ordinary people. Oh, did you guys just see this preview? I gotta watch this preview first because this is one of my favorite freaking movies. The Kingsman Secret Service. A new movie coming out. I'm off to call you on the PC because it won't ring. It doesn't ring on the PC for some reason, Billy. But I will buzz you in right now. All right, let's buzz in Billy first. Wow, this is a long preview. Kingsman Secret Service, one of my absolute all-time favorite movie series, and it's recent. Ton of martial arts, ton of action. If you guys haven't seen it, the first two. What's going on, Billy? How's it going?
Good. How's everyone doing tonight?
Are you a fan of the Kingsman Secret Service? Have you seen either one of those first two movies?
I saw the first one, but I can't remember much about it.
Oh, man. They're great. I can't wait to see the third one. My kids are really into it, too. But a lot of great martial arts in there, too. But how you been? How's your day going?
Could be better. When I talked to you, we were going to the Halloween store, and pretty sure my engine blew on the way there, so.
Oh, crap.
I had to get it towed home. That's why I missed the podcast earlier.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, it is what it is. Just means I got to fix my Ranger and my pickup, get that drivable now. So
Yeah, there you go. I'm looking for a pickup right now to haul off a bunch of crap at my house. Just
have you
from the
discussed that
remodel.
Drew Brees is not playing in this game?
Drew Brees not playing for a while. He came off with thumb surgery a couple of
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yep. So Teddy Bridgewater from University of Louisville
And
is
there's
taking
Bridgewater.
over,
There's a
and
completion.
he was the starter for Minnesota
Number
before he
28
had a
Murray.
catastrophic knee injury. But we're also gonna have to sync up on time here. So
Yes, we
let me know
will.
where
Yeah, I
you're at in the
remember
clock.
watching Bridgewater now against Seattle. We're watching that. All right,
Yeah,
I'll let you
and,
know where I'm at.
actually,
I'm at
Bridgewater-
11, 27, 26, 25.
okay, I don't have time on my screen. Hold on, they're announcing a penalty.
All right, Saints.
Yeah,
with
I'm at
the ball.
11-18, so I'm gonna pause it right
Fakes
now.
the handoff, and that one batted down. 2nd and 4. 11 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first quarter.
How much? Wait, say that again?
11 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first quarter.
Okay, now you're ahead of me, so it'll just take a minute for us to get synced up. Because I have Bridgewater passing to Michael Thomas, and I have 11:07.
Okay, that's probably the next play I'm looking at then. 3rd and 4. Offsides. Let's see if they were drawn. Yep, it's going to be a false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down. That's going to be number 78, McCoy.
Okay, so I paused it when they're showing the end of the replay of the completion.
Okay. And there's been a lot of penalties
So
this year. Seems like there's even, I know they've been going up every year seemingly, but I mean this year some of these games have seemed really bad. All right, Bridgewater under center. Back. Over the top. Completion. And he is out of bounds. All right, and there's the completion, Billy. 1st and 10. I got play clock 36, 35, 34.
Are they showing the replay?
And yeah, here is the replay. Look at number 13, Thomas. Oh, beautiful play.
Right when it comes out of replay, that's when that.
You go one-on-one
We
with
should be
Thomas.
synced up now.
Oh. And nothing going on the carry here. What for the New Orleans Saints? They got to be an underdog in this. What's their key to victory, Billy? What do they have to do well today?
Control time of possession with Kamara in the running game. They got to stop the run on the other side with Ezekiel Elliott, and they got to win the turnover battle. If you check those 3 boxes, they should win.
All right, here we go. Bridgewater under center, 2nd and 8. And he's going to scramble, and he's got a 1st down and more there. But there is a flag on the play.
It's going to be holding, but is it holding on the offense or holding in the secondary of the Cowboys? It looks to be holding on the offensive line. Yep. So that's coming back. What I was going to say earlier about Bridgewater is when he was quarterback at Louisville, the quarterback that followed him, it was Lamar Jackson, who is now the starter for the Baltimore Ravens, who got smoked by Cleveland earlier, which was a surprise.
Oh, yeah. I was not surprised by that. I wish I would have commented on it, though. I didn't know if I would have expected that game to go that way, but I definitely expected Cleveland to win that game.
And I'm pretty sure you were already sleeping at the end of the Seahawks game, but Larry Fitzgerald moved into 2nd place all-time on receptions in the NFL.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's been playing for a while. Reception there over the top from Thomas again. Third down here from New Orleans.
There's a really good profile of Michael Thomas on ESPN this morning about everything he does for the New Orleans community.
He's been around for a little while, too, it seems
And did you know Michael? Yeah, he's at Ohio State, but he's actually Keyshawn Johnson's nephew.
Oh, I didn't know that. The old Buccaneer. Yeah, he was, played for a few teams, so that's what I remember him for most. Oh, wow, that was wild and an interception. Bounces off of the Saints' hand, and the Cowboys have it. And we were just talking about the turnover battle.
Why don't you call me back? We're having a really bad connection here on Facebook. So try to call me again. We'll see if we can reset the...
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. I think everybody can hear you fine. I think my timing was just a little off. I was talking over you some, so we just need a minute or two to get our timing down.
It's something on your end because I hear about every fourth word out from you, and then it cuts out.
Oh, really? Oh, that's not going to be good.
We might need to Skype this one.
All right, we can switch over to Skype. That's fine. Never had the problem with Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, you're still...
All right, we'll switch over.
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad. So, yeah.
All right, commercial break here, but Cowboys with the ball, interception. And we will Skype in the time bender, and hopefully he's got some trivia. Because I don't have anything essentially written down, but I mean, I can always come up with trivia. Tough weekend for the Petos in Fantasy League. I was just looking at that matchup with the Browns. Peter, and I thought that they were going to beat him in a lot of areas.
Can you hear me?
What's that?
It might be my phone, actually, because it's breaking up again. Let me reset my phone, and then I'll try calling you on Messenger, because it's still breaking up. So let me reset my connection.
Okay. All right. No, to be fair, I can't remember what the podcast was also, but they were talking about a lot of things that the Browns do good, a lot of things that the Ravens do good, and I was just kind of thinking what countered what, and that's just the feeling I had. But because I listened to that podcast, that's why I had that. Prescott to Elliott, about 5 yards here. Getting me about second and a half. 8:30 left in the first quarter. I haven't looked at my fantasy league since a little earlier today, but I was doing pretty well. So snap under center, 2nd and 4. And an audible at the line here for Dak Prescott, and the defense adjusts. We'll see if they adjust correctly. Prescott seen something the defense he didn't like, and he's going to hand it off to Elliott. And Elliott going to get a few more yards, probably looking at about 3rd and 2, maybe 3rd and a yard and a half. 7:50 left in the first quarter here. And they did hashtag Legion of Brown. I didn't see the game, but was Stipe there? Did they zoom in on Stipe? I was watching the Seahawks game. And I didn't see any games before that. All right, 3rd and 2. Snap to Prescott, time in the pocket. And he's going to take it himself. He runs it. He gets the first down. A couple more. Nice slide as he's about to get taken out. And he wants to move quickly. Oh, flag on the play. Okay, so from what I seen there, they're calling unnecessary roughness on number 24, Von Bell. But Dak Prescott slid into him. What could have Bell done here? I'm going to watch the replay here. Maybe there's something I didn't see. A little hand to the helmet there. I'm not sure if that was purposeful. So I guess the referees thought it was. Pitch back to Elliott. Nothing going on there. Maybe a loss of a yard or two. All right. Sounds good, Billy. And I'll tell you something I figured out to help with my internet coverage. All right, 2nd and 9 for the Cowboys. At the 25-yard line, Prescott back, barely avoids the sack, and he gets the completion to Jason Witten. Number 82 for a first down. But he was running for his life. The Cowboys and him, I'm sure, would prefer he not be in that position. Oh, he took a big shot from 94. 94, credit to 94. I think he did everything he could to slow down, but he slammed Prescott. And a handoff to Ezekiel Elliott. Prescott may want to take a play to rest after that. That's a big man putting him on his backside. Still double zeros here in New Orleans. Cowboys with the ball, 5:40 left here in the first quarter. 2nd and 9. And Cowboys are very close to a 1st and goal. Or 2nd and goal, excuse me. They're on, looks like about the 11-yard line. Prescott back. Pass is high out of the back of the end zone. And 3rd and 9. And this is a huge 3rd and 9 here for the New Orleans Saints. Because this stop is the difference between a touchdown and a field goal. So, yeah, we're only 10 minutes into this game, but by far the biggest play of the game right here. 5:20 left in the first, 3rd and 9. Dak Prescott on the line. Can he get to the end zone? Can the Saints defense stop him? And they're moving the men on the line. A couple back in the end zone. Prescott back. He's got some time. He dances to the side. Throws to the end zone, in and out of the hands of number 18. And Cowboys are going to have to kick the field goal. That is 4th and 9. That was just a little high from Prescott. Receiver's not, the receiver just couldn't catch up to it. Going to be a 28-yard field goal attempt here. So big overthrow there for Prescott. And the field goal is good. And Dallas, just needed to get on the board. 3 points on the board for the self-proclaimed America's team. Oh, there's a video in Cleveland, Ohio. I was asking earlier, though, a lot of you guys watched the Browns and the Ravens game. Was Stipe, did they show Stipe? I'm sure he was there. But I was curious if they showed Stipe in the crowd. Must not have. Nobody noticed, anyways. So, small break here. Billy resetting his modem there. I've done that plenty of times. I shouldn't have to do that too much anymore. I'm going to tell Billy and all you guys how to get the fix on when he comes back. No more of that crap. Alright, guys, and I mean, sometimes everything just goes out completely. And that's when you gotta grab the old lady. You gotta grab her old caveman style, take her back to the back room. No, with permission, of course. In a progressive 2019 appropriate manner, of course. And get that blue chew on 3-4 rounds, or maybe, you know, maybe you're having a hard time getting your second round on for the day. Or even your first. No shame in that. Blue Chew's gonna hook us up 34% off of your first order through Blue Chew. And just the pricing thing, I hate it when people don't say the price. The 34% off the first month, that's for the active man, as they call it. 16 pills for the month, $49.99, and then 34% off of that for the first month. Peter's gonna use that for something. The way you say that, I'm not sure if I want to know what you use that for, Peter. But all right, Cowboys will kick it off to the New Orleans Saints. 5:08 here left in the first quarter. And they're going to take it out. Surprisingly, number 11, he's going to take it to about 27 yards. So he gets another 7 yards for taking that hit. Terry Bridgewater passing 2019 through week 3. They're going to take a look at it. 10 yards or less. 43 passes, 9 passes for 11 or 9 yards. Just one pass over 20 yards. His longest completion, 14 yards. So don't expect for Mr. Bridgewater to throw this the length of the field. He's going to hand it off here. Maybe a couple yards. All right. Well, thank you, Ordinary Pete. In more ways than one. What's up, Outlaw JBC? South Carolina in the house. And Mo Scream TV, I thought he might pop in for a minute. I know he's a big Cowboys fan. I don't know if any of you guys checked out his channel during the UFC yesterday when I couldn't stream. I tried to send everybody over there. And Bridgewater is down, and that's a sack. Number 58, Quinn, but there is a flag on the play. That's going to be a face mask on the defense, number 24. Big penalty here. These referees, they just can't keep their flags in their pants. And let's watch. Oh, he definitely did. Wow, to think that you're going to get away with that in today's NFL. He should have known that. Awuzie, I think he was about to get blown by, so he just holds on to the face mask. Wow, that was a long face mask hold. 4:18 left in the first. Bridgewater's going to hand it off. Wow, big run through the middle for Kamara. About 13, 14 yards there. Into the Cowboys side of the field. 4 minutes left, and Ezekiel Elliott looking on with, looked like he had a little bit of disgust on his face there for the defense allowing him to, Kamara to run through them like that. Oh, that's just great blocking. A lot of that's just great blocking because that's just straight north-south running there for Kamara. Offensive line doing their job there. And another handoff there. Oh, fakes the handoff to Kamara. Wow. That was a hard play to follow. Number 7, Hill. Check this play out. So Hill comes in as the quarterback, fakes the running back. Everybody bought it, and he just takes off like a bullet for 18 yards. And smashes a defender in the way. It takes 3 guys to take him down. You don't want to be taking too many hits like that as a quarterback, but that was very impressive. Like that number 7 from New Orleans, says Pete. Me too. All right, back to the running game. Bridgewater handing it off, and there is a stop. And New Orleans getting away with that, with that turnover earlier, only giving up a field goal. They really dodged a bullet there, I feel. And Taysom Hill, 64 passing yards, 227 rushing yards this season, 3 TDs. And around the corner, a toss, and that's going to be another first down. Number 11, Kamala Harris. And Cowboys, they're sweating a little here. Kamala Harris just blows around the outside. They faked it one way, went the other way. Beautiful play here. Play selection, 5 rushes, 0 passes, and Cowboys still doing nothing. Back, and here's a pass and a completion. Number 89, maybe about 4 yards there. That's going to be about 2nd and 6. And he gets slammed for his effort by Sean Lee, the 2-time Pro Bowler. And I don't see Comedic Genius in the house. Comedic Genius, you in here? He never comes in without announcing himself. He'll be in. All right, 2nd and 7. Saints with the ball, 15-yard line. And here they're going to run some more. A couple more yards and another flag on the play. Referees talking amongst themselves says, well, I got this foul. And the other one says, I got this foul. Well, I got this foul. Well, we got to decide which of the 3 to call. Holding on Michael Thomas, the receiver. 10-yard penalty on the offense. No, I say that, though. I talk smack about them calling so many penalties. But then I go back and I watch it. And a lot of times, like right there, it was a hold. It's a physical game. I like referees that let guys play. But I realize sometimes, you do have to call some things. And Bridgewater looked like he was going to throw a rocket there for a minute. Decides not to. Is that going to be... Well, it's not throwing in the grass because he didn't throw. That's going to be holding number 67 on the offense. Number 67, Warford. And the New Orleans Saints are they're shooting themselves in their foot. They're about to get out of scoring range here. They're still in field goal range. But this was a big chance to go up 7-3. And, put the Cowboys on the defensive. Put them on their heels. And Bridgewater back, and there's a fairly long pass to 87 to about the 23-yard line, but this is 3rd and 25. They are not going to get it. And end of the first quarter here in New Orleans, 3-0 Cowboys. And I appreciate you few that are in here because this is not a lot tonight. Just a few of the regulars in here holding it down. I appreciate you guys. No fun talking to yourself. And let's throw a trivia question out there. I'm going to throw a trivia question out there. Refresh your browsers. And we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, this standout, let's buzz Billy in here real quick. Hello, Billy. How we doing?
All right, good. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you fine. I can hear you the whole time.
Yeah, I had to reset my phone and then reset the modem and then reset the computer, so everything got reset.
I was just replacing some stuff over at Best Buy the other day, and I was talking to him about my modem because I've been having a hard time getting the Wi-Fi stretched and everything, and I'd still been using the Comcast modem, and he's like, get rid of that thing, because I bought Orbeez. I spent $300 on Orbeez to extend the Wi-Fi. Still wasn't working.
Well, I have that Comcast modem in it, and honestly, I do feel like my modem's on its last legs because I have to reset it like twice a day now just for it to even support 2 devices on it. So,
well, he said that the 2 channels on their modem, I guess, and I don't want to bore everybody too much, but apparently the way Comcast does it, they cancel out a lot, and they like to discourage people against using their own modems. But this is a Geek Squad guy from Best Buy, but he's like, yeah, never use their modem.
yeah, we're in the process of switching away from Comcast because the cable bill is so high. So I'm gonna end up buying like a pay by the month Wi-Fi box, and then switch to Sling for cable.
Oh, there you go. All right, New Orleans kicking the field goal here, and it is tied 3-3. I got 14:55 left in the second. New Orleans just kicked the field goal.
That's where I'm at. They just went to commercial. Now it's AWS presents.
All right, perfect.
Yada, 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 yada. So, now that we're an all-sports channel, quickly I want to break down what's coming up for everyone. Tuesday night on TBS, we'll have the National League wildcard game. Washington Nationals hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. On Wednesday night on ESPN, you'll have the American League wildcard game, the Oakland Athletics hosting the Tampa Bay Rays. And then Friday night, the big ones start. You got the New York Yankees against the Minnesota Twins, followed by the Houston Astros playing the winner of the A's-Rays play-in game. And on Saturday, you'll have the Atlanta Braves playing the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Los Angeles Dodgers hosting the winner of the Nationals Brewers play-in game, as postseason baseball has arrived.
All right. Looking forward to calling some of that. When was the Tuesday night game on?
I believe it would probably be 5:30 your time, because it's from Washington, D.C., so they can't start terribly late. But the next night's in California, so that one might start at least probably 6 p.m. your time.
Okay, well, and I was going live at 6 p.m., so maybe I'll try to call that game. I don't know. I have not watched any baseball in quite a while, so I might struggle with that. I might sit and talk to myself through a few baseball games before I try it.
The Nationals starting pitcher Max Scherzer is a strikeout wizard, and he's also one of the most fun watches because he's so animated on the mound. He lives and dies with every pitch. He often argues with the umpire when he doesn't get calls his way, and he's a strictly power pitcher. So you're going to see nothing but strikeouts and home runs on Tuesday night.
Oh, I love that stuff. I mean, yeah, we like to see the home runs. We like to see the big plays in sports, but I mean, I'm all about the personalities. That's irreplaceable.
And then on Thursday night, it is opening night for the regular season of the National Hockey League. That happens next week as well.
Prescott back in the pocket. Short catch to Ezekiel Elliott. Looks like about 4 yards here. Third down and 5 for the Cowboys.
What year is the Seattle hockey team starting? Is it 2
Next
years
year.
from now or next year?
Yeah, next season.
Do they have a name yet?
They do not. They're going to announce it. I was just reading it the other day. They're going to announce it, I believe, at the All-Star game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great defensive play. Number 23 tips it away from Amari Cooper there. Beautiful play, and that's going to take the Cowboys to 4th and 5. They're going to have to punt. What a huge play.
And now the NBA, once the NBA gets done with their new television contracts and next year, there's whispers that the Supersonics are coming back, and also a Las Vegas team, because they have to add at least 2 teams.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I have a hard time even thinking about the Sonics coming back at this point. It's been since 2009, and I've heard it so many times. Oh, here comes New Orleans with the kickoff return. Oh, it is a punt return all the way to the 50-yard line.
Yeah. I know they're coming back because they promised them they wouldn't add any more teams before they bring a team back to Seattle. And NBA wants that Las Vegas team bad. So to get the Las Vegas team, they got to bring back the Supersonics.
I feel like I've been hearing this for 10 years. I literally boycotted the NBA for 10 years. I was so mad that they left.
It wasn't the NBA's fault. It was that owner that went to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but I'm not logical sometimes.
Yeah. He left because, Seattle didn't want to build a new arena or what?
Yeah, they had some issues with Key Arena, and they had just done a renovation. Now they still don't have a new arena. They're doing another big renovation for Key Arena. I will admit, I won't pay to go to Key Arena. The seats are very uncomfortable. I don't know what they're going to do with the renovations, but for me, if I can't be comfortable in my seat, I'm not going to go. And I know I'm not a real small guy, but I know there's other people my size that want tickets.
Well, you got to assume then that's what they're doing because the NHL wouldn't give them an expansion team if they weren't going to put money into that arena. So.
Yeah, I went there. The last time I went there, I believe, was for the UFC. And yeah, I was super uncomfortable. State took the money out and Schultz sold it. Yep. Exactly, Adam. No, don't worry. I was mad at Starbucks, too. I boycotted Starbucks as well.
And I don't hold anything against Oklahoma City because those fans were dying for a pro franchise forever.
I do. I'm better against everyone.
But the logical explanation would have been just to give Oklahoma City an expansion team. And have their own
I guess
team.
they like to bring in 2 teams at a time. They must have an even amount. I don't even know how many teams they have now. Is it 32?
They have 30, and they're going to expand to 32 because they're going to have that Vegas one. But they made an agreement with Seattle that they will not have another team before Seattle gets their team back. So those are going to be the next 2 teams, Seattle and Las Vegas.
All right. Well, I'll be happy to see him. I won't be broadcasting that one because I will be in the crowd when the Sonics comes back, for sure.
And And don't be surprised if they expand to 4, because I know they want to go back to Vancouver, and they also want to bring a team down into the Carolinas, the South
Bridgewater
Carolina.
back. Pass tipped, but caught anyways. To Hill, the quarterback. That guy does everything.
Don't be surprised if you see more of number 7, Taysom Hill, because he's a great change of pace for the Saints. He's a really good running quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. He just caught that pass. Oh, no, that was the other.
Yeah, that was the tight end, Josh Hill.
Oh, the other Hill. Too many Hills.
But yeah, Taysom Hill's a quarterback out of BYU. He's really explosive.
Yeah, he ran it earlier for 18 yards. They brought him in, and he faked the handoff and ran it.
Flag on the play.
Up the middle for about 5, but yeah, for Kamara, but another flag.
Yeah, they're already setting records for most holding calls ever in the history of the game through this many first 4 weeks.
And I am watching a lot of the replays, and a lot of them, it's like, okay, I see the holding, but then sometimes I'm watching, and it's like, man, you got to let them play a little bit.
Right. It screws up the flow of the game completely, too.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely, it's a complete different game, and I think you would have, I don't know if you would end up with a different champion at the end, but I mean, I'm sure there's definitely, a lot of games that are going to end up, with different winners because of the flow of the game, like you talked about.
Yeah, because modern offenses are tempo-based. They like to have quick pace, and all these penalties slow the tempo and screw up the flow of the offense.
Bridgewater fakes the handoff, goes to the outside, finds Michael Thomas.
Everybody was worried that Michael Thomas wasn't going to be as effective without Drew Brees, but he's proven that he's an all-around receiver because Teddy Bridgewater and him have been just fine these first 2 weeks.
Yeah, Bridgewater's not doing so bad.
Yeah, I agree. And unfortunately, my Broncos lost with a last-second field goal, so now we're 0-4, and I can't even remember when we've been 0-4. It was a tough one, for sure.
Yeah, that sucks. Bridgewater back, pass over the middle to Michael Thomas, first down.
Bridgewater threw that pass before Thomas even turned.
I believe that's Bridgewater's longest completion of the season. Before that, it was 14 yards.
The breakdown here, one-on-one with Awuzie. Thomas comes back to the ball, and I believe he did get both feet in bounds, didn't he?
I thought he did. I wasn't watching the feet so much. So there's the pivot. Can't tell
Close,
from
but
that
yeah,
camera angle.
So they're in the red zone, Mike. Can they get some points?
All right, each team has been in the red zone. Second time for the Saints now. Bridgewater not able to find a receiver. Plenty of time, but and he's going to take the sack. He should have thrown that away.
He did not see that coming. He's lucky he didn't get hurt.
Well, I mean, he had long enough. Oh, it's not a sack officially. I see he picked up a yard on the play.
Yeah, he kind of fell forward for the yard, actually, more than picked it up, but yeah.
Well, yeah, 2nd and 9 anyways. Yeah, that was a long time. When you're not seeing anybody coming behind you and you're like 5, 6, you got to kind of assume you're about to get knocked to the floor.
How's your fantasy team doing today?
It's doing pretty well. I'm up 123 to 79.
Oh, wow.
How about you?
I haven't checked it yet. I think I'm playing Wyatt, though.
Yeah, I think you were. He just, he kept messaging me about a trade. I actually made a trade with him. I'm not sure if it was good for me, but I made a trade.
What was the trade?
I'll tell you here in a minute. I'm looking. Oh, no, you are not playing White. He won against Raleigh some knockouts, 110 to 72, where he's up right now. Oh, your Team Miller's 105.5. You have 72, but you still have Mixon to play.
That's probably it.
Yeah. Oh,
Looks
big
like I'm gonna
blitz
find
by
a
the
piece of
Cowboys.
That was a rough one.
Sack for a big loss here by the Cowboys, and the New Orleans Saints be forced to kick the field goal once again.
I guess maybe I need to make a trade now that I only scored 70 points this week. That's not good.
Well, yeah, it's kind of week to week. I'm trying to see
42
where.
yards.
Well,
Will
I'm in
Lutz with the
Denver.
pick. He splits the uprights. It's now 6-3 Saints.
All right, 6-3. Yeah, I
No
had the
Blake Moore.
Seahawks defense too. I see you had Denver's defense.
Yeah. They had 5 sacks today, though.
It got you 0 points though because they gave up too many points.
20
I think.
points. Yeah.
I thought you would get more, but it gave you 0 points.
Well, I guess the sacks kept it from being negative points then.
Yeah, there you go. I'll tell you who I traded here in a minute.
Okay.
So I think they did really well. Oh yeah, I didn't even want to say who I traded.
What? It's okay.
I traded Johnson from Detroit. He got 125 yards and a fumble today.
Carryon Johnson, the running
He had a
back?
fumble, but yeah, I traded Kerryon Johnson
Who'd you get?
for a receiver to Wyatt. I'd have to see if I can bring the trade back up on here.
You don't even know what receiver you got?
I think I got took, Billy.
Sounds like it if you don't even know the receiver.
I don't know why it did pretty well.
But if we all think it's unfair, the rest of us in the league can veto the trade. So if anyone's listening, go ahead and look at the trade and see if you think it was a fair trade. Because I think all trades should benefit both teams.
No, I took the trade. It was not a bad receiver. I just didn't need a receiver as bad as he needed a running back. Or excuse me, I didn't need a running back as bad as he needed a receiver.
Oh, you got the running back?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I did give up the running back.
Okay.
And I got a receiver. Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. Next week, Sunday Night Football, Colts and Chiefs. I like that quarterback for the Colts, Jacoby Brissett. He's turning out to be really good. They're not missing Andrew Luck too much now.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising. People were pretty mad about Luck.
He's going to come back next year and be the Broncos quarterback just like Peyton Manning did.
Oh, he'll be the most hated player in the league by far. If he comes back. Not
Just so
because
he
he
could get out
left,
any
but
happening.
because of the way he left.
Yeah. But everything I read is his heart really wasn't in football anymore. He has a master's degree in architecture and really wants to follow that.
Well, if he stays away, I completely support him. Now, if he were to come back next season, then I would kind of be like, wait.
Yeah, he's a genius, though. He's so smart. He wants to, write books and build buildings, and I support it.
Oh, yeah, totally. There was a really controversial retirement. It was a young, 27, 28-year-old running back from the Vikings that retired. This is 7 years
Robert
back.
Smith.
Yeah.
Robert Smith. Yeah. But I support it. Barry Sanders retired early. Calvin Johnson retired early. Even Jim Brown, the legendary running back, retired early.
9 years, and then he did movies and commercials. Oh, if you can, it's just like fighting. I always tell fighters, how long should you fight? Well, when you get a stream of income that you don't need to fight anymore, if you don't want to fight, don't do it.
Just like, I agree. I think Ronda Rousey retired at the perfect time. She still had her mental capacity, and she's making more money You know, she's not even wrestling anymore. She's just strictly acting now.
Yeah. 2nd and 7 here for the Cowboys. She's even doing well on her YouTube channel. She's just her and Travis Brown are just kind of, it just seems like they're having fun doing their own thing.
And I heard that she's going to come back to wrestling, but secretly she took off because she wants to have a baby.
Well, she'd been saying that for a while. She'd been saying she was going to retire from the UFC, possibly to have a baby soon, and that was before she lost.
Right.
Oh, audible at the line here from Prescott. Defense is going to adjust. We'll see what he has in store.
Oh, nice.
Oh, over the middle, 82, and he fumbles it.
Fumble.
And the Saints have it. Number 24, and he's running from the 50, the 45, down to the 40. Huge play for the Saints.
That's something you don't see a lot, Mike. Jason Witten fumbling the football.
Wow, and the entire Saints team is flooding the end zone for a celebration here. They better be careful. Is this a new thing in the league? I seen the Seahawks doing that earlier. The whole team comes up for like a selfie. Is that something the league negotiated and like you can celebrate, but celebrate our way?
Yep.
That's what I assumed.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, I'm losing my voice a little bit. I got to get some water. I will be right back.
All right. Beautiful strip by Klein, number 53 from behind. Wow. Great play. Fantasy football is an ever-changing tide. I thought the trade was fair. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, no, I think it was, 2 for 1. I couldn't take the 2 for, well, I did take 2 for 1, but I had to drop 1. You can only have so many players on your team, but then you can drop somebody else too. No, it was fine. I was being a little dramatic, Adam. And I kind of disagree a little bit. I should wait for Billy to come back in that. If somebody takes a trade, I mean, yeah, let's not try and take advantage of each other. But like if I took a trade and I didn't know what I was doing, that's my fault. I'm not saying that was the case, but I do like to see it competitive too. And looks like Wyatt had a better week as well. Both of us did. I just wish I could look up my trades. I probably just am not very good at navigating this thing. Yeah, I don't remember it, but I still have Saquon Barkley on the bench for who knows how many more weeks. So update on him, Saquon Barkley told people he'll be able to beat his recovery timetable from a high right ankle sprain. I knew who was a Giants fan out there? Somebody was saying they were a Giants fan.
Giants seem to have their quarterback of the future in Daniel Jones, that's for sure.
Yeah, they might not miss Saquon Barkley. Oh, they're definitely missing him, but
well, yeah.
He's expecting to come back, he says, sooner than the timetable given. But pretty much every good athlete says that, especially when they're young.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's ever came back like Rod Woodson for that Super Bowl, though.
Adrian Peterson came back from a torn ACL at 8 months somehow.
Okay, so yeah, Rod Woodson did that similar. I want to say it was less time. Same thing, torn ACL when he came back. I don't remember how many months it was, but he came back for the Super Bowl. Jerry Rice,
is that when he
hold my
was with
beer.
the Steelers? Mike?
What's that?
Was that when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Saints up at the line here. Fakes the handoff. Bridgewater. Oh, gets to Latavius Murray. That's a first down, but also a flag on the play.
There's a Cowboy shaking up on the play, too.
Surprise, surprise, holding on the offense.
Man. I've always heard, though, you could call holding on every play, technically.
I'd never heard that, but the more I watch this, the more that's pretty questionable.
Yeah, that's a ticky-tack foul for sure.
Yeah, I think that's just playing. And I know hopefully once the playoffs go on, usually they let them play. I hope they continue to do that.
Yeah. We'll see.
So I'm kind of
even
looking...
Tom Brady came out really complaining about it on Twitter.
Oh, really? And
yeah,
he's the beneficiary of probably a lot of those calls.
Yeah, he was watching the last Thursday night game, and he was like, I'm turning the game off. You can't watch this anymore with a holding call every third play.
Wow.
Yep. That should open some eyes in the NFL executive office.
Yeah, that's not good for the game for sure. Now, something that I realize that they're going, there's going to be some hiccups to get it right are these, late hits on the quarterbacks, basically anything that could be causing, unnecessary TBI,
Trauma.
but that's not a holding thing.
Yeah. And we talked
really going on the run there.
The 3 points the Saints need to follow. So far, so good. They're winning the turnover battle. They're slowing the Dallas running game. And they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage on offense. So if they follow this game plan, it's the one that will lead to a victory tonight.
Yeah, I don't remember what the line was, but I know Dallas was favored on the road.
Now, I'm not completely sold with Dallas yet. Everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid that they're the team to beat in the NFC. But
Bridgewater completion to number 41 there.
especially now that Tampa Bay upset the Rams today, everyone's on Dallas's bandwagon.
Yeah, I mean, it's still very early in the season. We had 3-0 San Francisco 49ers as well, too. I'm not completely sold on them.
I am. They're going to take Seattle out. Boom.
I don't think so.
The Legion of Boom is going to turn into
Bridgewater back.
Sissies.
Well, they've kind of... the Legion of Boom's not really there anymore. I was talking about that today. There's really just a few pieces from that original defense.
Yeah, because Cam Chancellor had to retire. Earl Thomas is with the Ravens. Sherman's with the 49ers. And I think Brandon Browner's not in football either now.
I was really upset about the way the Earl Thomas thing went down. But
Yeah, because he tried to force himself to the Cowboys, actually.
But I had always liked Thomas. It seemed like he had always been honest with the team. And that seemed to come out of left field for everyone. Everyone seemed legitimately surprised.
Oh, we got a fight. Little scuffle.
This is why I'm looking forward, actually, to getting into hockey now, though. Now, they're going to let them play, not all these ticky-tack fouls. And fighting's part of the game.
It is. Every team has a designated tough guy that fights. One guy on each team is their fighter.
Hockey season, they're in the preseason part of it right now, right? Hockey season's starting here real soon.
Yeah, it starts on Thursday. I was saying that earlier, that opening night for hockey is Thursday night.
I ramble off a lot of dates like that, and then I was listening to you as a spectator, and I was like, wow, I'm probably really hard to follow. Because I'll admit, for me, it was pretty hard to follow everything that you were going through without visually seeing it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to try to try to have a few more visuals for people.
Right. And if you don't want to follow any other teams in hockey this year, my Colorado Avalanche are a young, explosive team.
Seattle's getting their team next year.
So for 1 year, you can be an Avalanche fan.
I don't know. It might be kind of fun to just watch a season and not be a fan of anyone. Because that's kind of what I enjoy about MMA. It's like, yeah, I definitely like certain fighters, but there's so many fights that I watch. It's like, I'll be really happy if either guy wins as long as there's a great fight.
I want to give Seattle fans some props. I thought it was a really cool moment what the Seattle Mariners fans did on Thursday night for Felix Hernandez. I thought that was awesome.
I didn't even see.
They sold out the stadium and they all wore King Felix shirts, and they gave him a standing ovation that lasted like 10 minutes when they took him out of the game for the last time, because this is supposedly his last game. So.
Oh yeah, their fan base is pretty appreciative like that. I mean, we still have Edgar Martinez nights like every year.
In fact, NBC just showed a play. Actually, hockey starts on Wednesday night, Mike, with the Sharks and Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Well, I have Wednesday nights off now, so I might have to end up doing that.
And I think with like games like this and stuff, we can alter our broadcast and like not really have to do play-by-play every play. We can do like trivia and some like fun games to like make it more interactive for the viewers.
Yeah, I'm just listening. If anybody have any suggestions, things that you want to see? I mean, there's only 8 of you guys out there right now, so let us know. We want you guys. We appreciate you guys being here, and we want you to let us know what what you want to see. I do like doing the play-by-play. I mean, I'm just a play-by-play guy. When the game's close, when it's a blowout, not as much.
Yeah. Second and long for the Cowboys. Good catch. About a 7-yard reception. They'll set up 3rd and short for Dak Prescott and the boys.
They're running that double tight end there. That works really well for him. Number 92, Davenport, shutting this down.
He almost got to Prescott there.
And you could have called holding on Smith on that. He had a little handful of jersey.
That was more of a hold than the last hold they called on New Orleans.
I think you're right on that. You could call holding on every play, or close to.
Oh, beautiful pass. Randall Cobb gets the first down.
Completion to the former Packer.
Yeah, Packers would love to have him back now, huh?
Yeah, he's been in the league for a while, though. He's got to be in his late 30s,
middle
right?
30s. Yeah, early 30s, middle 30s. He's been around for a while.
After 35, I kind of feel like is when, you have a really hard time playing at the top level as a receiver.
Unless you're Larry Fitzgerald. Or
How
Jerry
old
Rice.
is he? Is he 40?
No, I think Fitzgerald's only like 35.
Seems like he's been around forever. And another first down for the Cowboys.
Flag on the play. Pass interference on the Cowboys. They called the pick play.
Oh, wow. Offensive pass interference.
Now, if you watch the replay here, they called pass interference because instead of just getting in the way, he's going to block the receiver. See how he slaps his hands?
Yep.
Now, granted, I've seen a lot worse than that not called, but that's what they said.
I'm not privy to that call. I'm not down with that.
Adam from Allen has a joke for you, Mike, in the comment section.
I see that. What was it, Adam?
This is your time to shine, Adam. The floor is yours.
The community awaits your answer. It better be good. 2nd and 17 here for the Cowboys, coming up to the 2-minute warning.
Yep, they're not going to get the playoff. We're going to go to the timeout. Slap. The answer is slap, folks. I went and got
I'm going to
water
give
and I
you...
left it on the counter. I'll be right back. I'm an idiot.
I'm going to give you a C plus on the joke, Adam. I'm not completely sold, but it's passing. All right, and I had promised a trivia question earlier, and then Billy came on, and I just realized I forgot about it. So, real quick speed test. All right, we'll do a refresh of the browsers real quick. 3, 2, 1. All right, this former running back, large running back that ran everyone over, was nicknamed the Bus. This should be a speed test. This guy was a very popular running back. Everybody loved this guy, as far as I know. You got Metis and Betty. Bettis, there we go. All right, Peter Ordinary. You are correct. It was the Bus, Jerome Bettis. And while everybody's refreshed, I'm going to throw another quick one out here. Back to that legendary Tampa Bay Buccaneers team of the early to mid 2000s. You had that great defense, but then you also you had alternating running backs, basically opposites of another. You had Warwick Dunn, who was the small, quick running guy, and then you had a large fullback that just ran people over. Who was the large fullback that played opposite Warwick Dunn for years in the early 2000s? He played on that Super Bowl team. Ordinary Pete, you are correct. It is Mike Allstott. Adam was right behind you. I loved watching that team, even though I was a Seahawks fan. Prescott back. Completion to number 21. And he gets thrown down, but on second 17, Elliott not going to get enough for the first down. 1:45 left in the half. Michael Pittman with Dunn. Yep, I remember Michael Pittman. He was kind of that medium back.
Yeah.
Because they had no quarterback. I mean, they alternated kind of between, nobodies. And, Sean King, nice enough guy, but, yeah, not a quarterback, not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback.
No. I always thought he was going to become a coach, but I don't know if he did or not.
He was commentating there for a while.
Yeah. Because he replaced Trent Dilfer, if I'm not mistaken. That's when Dilfer went to the Ravens and won the Super Bowl, though.
Yep, that is true. I just remember being really frustrated because I was going for Tampa Bay one year, and I think they lost like 5-3 in the playoffs. Like they couldn't even outscore a team that scored 5 points.
I remember the Trent Dilfer Super Bowl when they beat the Giants very well because I went to the hospital that night. I had tonsillitis. I was in like 8th grade or 7th grade or something.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And I just remember being at the Super Bowl party my family was having, being so sick, praying the game would just end.
Yep, Adam, Brad Johnson. Yeah, I had a lot of favorite players on there. They were kind of my adopted team. I always kind of wanted to be like, oh, I don't want to root for another team. But when the Seahawks were not very good, like I became a pretty big Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Wasn't Joey Galloway on that Buccaneers team too?
He might have been later, but he was on the Seahawks for years.
Yeah, I know. but I'm pretty sure he went to the Buccaneers.
And
I
then
know
he was
he
on
did.
the Cowboys.
I don't know if he was on that team.
Keyshawn Johnson was there for years.
Yep.
I don't remember
Keyshawn Johnson
if Galloway
started
was
with
or
the
not. Yeah,
Saints.
Sapp was so fun to watch play. 4th and 1, Cowboys are going to go for it. And why
Hands the
not? You're
ball
not
off.
quite within field goal range.
He got it. Barely, but he got it.
Oh, I thought he was going to get stopped for a minute.
He fumbled. He fumbled it, Mike.
Whoa! Let's see what the ruling on the field is.
And it is first down, Saints.
And it is a fumble, and the Saints recover. Big play for the New Orleans Saints. They are very emotional tonight.
Let's see if it. He was down, Mike.
Oh, they're going to challenge that.
Yep. That's coming back. He was down. Warren Sapp was one of the most disruptive defensive tackles ever in the history of the game.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. Him and Booger McFarland on the line. I mean, that was...
Yep.
And then if the
Rice-
quarterback got it away, you got to deal with Derek Brooks. And if you, God forbid, your receiver caught it, you got to get hit by John Lynch.
They had Simeon Rice was their main pass rusher, the defensive end.
Yeah, Rice was a beast too. I remember playing that game on way back in the day on NFL 2K because I wasn't a big Madden fan. Still not, but
Do you remember the old
Dreamcast.
Super Nintendo game, the NFL Quarterback Club?
I remember that. I didn't play it much.
It was so hard to play. The controls were so wonky.
Are you a Madden guy? Do you play games at all?
Yeah, not so much now, but I had Madden on Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay. See, that's more when I was into games. Yeah, Super.
And then the first Madden on N64, where it was just called Madden 64.
Oh, okay. I never had a Super Nintendo. I had the PlayStation, and then I went back to Sega. I had the Dreamcast, and then when they discoded the Dreamcast, I kind of went away from games until my son got into it. But if they could bring back NFL 2K, I would still play it. But Madden keeps on buying the license to the NFL, and then it basically is a license to continue to make crappy games.
All my games now I pretty much gave them all to my little brother. He's got every game system you can think of. He's got the Nintendo Wii, Wii U, the Switch. He has an Xbox One, PS4, PS3, Xbox 360. Everything you can think of besides like a Super Nintendo and a regular Nintendo.
Oh wow, yeah, young David's got a lot of the stuff too. He's got my old Super Nintendo and a regular Nintendo actually, and then a Japanese modded Dreamcast, and then PS2, 3, Xbox One.
Does young David know how to mod systems by any chance?
He's never modded it. I bought the Japanese modded one. Somebody else had modded it.
Oh, okay. I've always wanted to get one because they make like PS3s that are modded where you can play all the old video games on them. I want to get one.
I bought an Xbox that was modded, and around here at least, I found it on Craigslist. It was like the original Xbox, but it was $80, and it was loaded with like a terabyte of like all the old games.
Yeah, because you can play all the Sega, Nintendo games, even Atari games on there,
Michael Thomas, 9-yard reception here, a minute 15 seconds left. New Orleans trying to score again here before they go into halftime.
Bridgewater gets it away, caught. First down.
Oh, wow, what a throw by Bridgewater under pressure.
Ted Ginn Jr. on the reception. They're in field goal range, Mike. 50 seconds. They're going to try to get 6, though.
Bridgewater with time over the middle.
God.
Whoa!
He dropped it.
Oh,
Barely dropped it.
I thought Cook had it, but yeah, he drops. What's up, PBR Street Gang? Just got an emulator for your PC. Play all the games. That's true. Yeah, young David's installed several. He does know how to do it on the PC. He's done a couple of those, and you can buy an actual Nintendo controller for your PC. I have a couple
Mm-hmm.
of them. Yeah.
That's fun.
Denise Huey in the house. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Thanks for watching.
Bridgewater back to pass, going for the end zone.
Whoa, big pass. Oh, and way over everybody. Well, Jin Jr., he didn't. I don't know if he got caught up on the route, but he wasn't anywhere near that. MAME32 emulator I use. I don't know what David's using, but he just does it for me. I just tell him, make sure you turn the VPN on. Don't get me any letters from Comcast, because they're the only ones who care.
Third and long, ball on the 28-yard line. Bridgewater back to pass. Going for their... he overthrew him again. That's back-to-back bad passes. Flag on the play. It looks like it's on the Cowboys. Breeze is... roughing the passer.
Oh, I was going to say, if that's pass interference, that's an uncatchable pass. But, all right, I want to see the replay on this.
Yeah, the Cowboys are complaining big time, so they don't think this was a foul.
I'm trying to be patient on the roughing the passer, but yeah, they've been pretty ridiculous about it.
Oh, you know what? It's because he hit him below the knees. That's why they called it.
Oh, yep. That's a blatant rule. He knew it when he went there. When he hit it instead of the waist, he hit below the knee. So yeah, that's cut and dry.
You can't hit him below the knees, and you can't hit him in the head. That's an automatic pass or roughing the passer.
Yeah, the only issue with the head one is I'm seeing quarterbacks slide into defenders and then have penalties called. That's a problem.
Ted Ginn on the reception. The ball's on the 10. We're heading up to 20 seconds left to go in the first half. The Saints still have one timeout, but they're not using it.
They're running out of time. They better get back quickly. They're going to pull a Seahawks from last week.
This is a clown show right now. They just wasted 12
seconds left in the half. If they get sacked, it's over. Oh!
He's going to be stopped at the 1, but now they're going to have
4 seconds timeout. You got to call a timeout right now.
There's a flag down, though. Chaotic scene here at the end of the first half. Here's the call. Offsides on the defense. They're going to decline the penalty. It's going to set up first and goal, but with 4 seconds left, Mike, you're just going to have to take your field goal and go into halftime.
Do you go for the field goal, or do you take one shot at the end zone?
It does look like Sean Payton's calling a play, but you got to take the 3 points.
Personally, I would take the field goal in this moment.
4 seconds is not enough time to... I don't know.
Well, it's enough time to get your play off because the clock's not going to start until the ball's snapped. Oh, they're going for it. Huge play here. First and goal. I'm looking for a quarterback sneak. Nope. Everybody on the line. Bridgewater into the end zone. And
they only ran 2 seconds off, so.
Wow. How in the...
I don't know. That's some home cooking on the clock there.
Yeah, that's interesting because the clock starts when the ball hits Bridgewater's hand.
That's what the
commentators are saying. I didn't know you could run a play in 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000.
4 1,000, 5 1,000.
Yeah, that's a long 2 seconds.
Yep. 18 or 19-yard field goal. No, 18 yards. Shortest field goal you can kick in football right here. And he drills it.
Yep,
we got halftime.
Right. And New Orleans not punished for going for it.
There's no way that play only took 2 seconds.
And they're saying the play stops and the ball hits something out of bounds. Yeah, I think even the commentators were having a little hard time buying that one.
Nonetheless, it's 9-3 Saints at halftime.
Yeah, that is interesting. I want to talk to you for just a second. Well, I guess we're going to get another chance before Monday, but I want to talk to you for something about Tuesday if you're going to be able to be on the show. So,
Okay.
just remind
What's
me
our
eventually.
halftime show?
Oh, jeez. They just said Siri something on there and it set my phone off. I hate that.
Anybody in the chat want to do a couple trivia questions, or I don't know, what should we do for halftime?
That's what I was going to ask if you had some trivia questions. I kind of went through UFC 243 during the Seahawks game.
You know what I think we should do?
What's that?
Let's break down the first 9 of PFL playoffs that are about to happen.
Oh, very good point. That is the 11th?
Yep. A little under 2 weeks away from... I feel like I've missed with PFL so much. It was so good at the end right there, the regular season.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they have to stop worrying about it lasting the entire year because, like, they go week, and then there's such a big break, you give people a chance to forget about it.
Yeah. Now, we're MMA hardcore, so we didn't forget, but the average fan probably doesn't even know that PFL's coming back.
This is true. Well, we know the Fights of Friends family has been waiting for PFL. It's marked on all their calendars.
But ESPN's not even advertising it coming back. You think with it 2 weeks away, they should start drilling some commercials to let everyone know that the playoffs are about to start in PFL.
Absolutely. Which makes me wonder if they're planning on bringing them back next season.
I hope so, because I really enjoy it on ESPN now.
All right, well, it is a big card next week. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here so everybody can see it. All right. We'll bring it up on here.
All right.
Andro Filo versus Gianno Franco. Sabadu Sai versus Ray Cooper III. I love that kid, Ray Cooper III. Magomed Karamov versus Chris Curtis.
Okay.
John Howard versus David Machado. Are you seeing this on your screen yet?
Yep.
All right. And then I'm probably most excited about the women on this one. Sarah Kaufman, she never gets the credit that she deserves, taking on Larissa Pacheco, and then Jania Fabian, of course, taking on Kayla Harrison. But, I mean, she's been disrespected in so many fights, and she takes it very well. But... oh my God, I'm sorry. I did not realize earlier that the Buccaneers put up 55 points, though.
Yep.
Wow, that's a franchise. I'll get back to the PFL, sorry, but that's a franchise record for the Buccaneers. And there's a long-time Tampa Bay Buccaneer coach, Tony Dungy, there to talk about it. But... yeah, Sarah Kaufman. I remember Sarah Kaufman, you know, she was very disrespected way back to Strikeforce when she was fighting against Ronda. And they were doing the promos. And I remember her talking about getting off the plane because she'd flown in from a long ways and they're doing the promos. And the only thing she asked, you know, they got all these makeup people and everybody there. And she just asked, hey, I just got off the plane. Can somebody, you know, please do my hair real quick? Not even asking for the makeup, but can somebody, you know, help fix my hair before we get on the camera? And they said, this is not about you. This is about Ronda.
Wow.
Yeah. She was talking about that again recently on MMA Junkie, which, wow, that's going to be something I might have to take some more time. We might have to do that on Tuesday. I'm very, very upset at MMA Junkie. I've been a listener for years, but I'm completely irate with them. And I kind of feel like maybe maybe now is not the best time to start it, but we will get back to it during an MMA show. I have some clips. What's that?
What did they do?
Well, I have some clips I've saved from podcasts. You know what? Maybe I can just play them real quick.
Yeah, we still got 10 minutes or so.
We got the halftime. All right. I know there's not a lot of people. Not a lot of people in here. I'm gonna take the PFL off of a screen. Bear with me. I'm gonna play the audio through my phone on the mic because I don't have it up on the computer right now, but I think you'll be able to hear it just fine. So I just completely, in my mind, I know that they're trying to speak. They're trying to keep the show going. They're kind of doing a little more independent thing now, but absolutely inexcusable as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to bring up the time. I have a lot of timestamps here.
How many recordings do you have?
Well, let's see. That's 2987. Let me just make sure I get them in the right order.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to get them in the right order here. And so this is from two different shows, but it all connects to the incident between Jeremy Stephens and Yaya Rodriguez. And I know there's been a lot of talk about that. But right. Just in my mind, just some absolutely inexcusable things that MMA Junkie says. And I mean, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Go ahead and let me know. Just maybe I'm making too much out of it. But I kind of felt like that their job, is to protect the fighters when the fighters deserve protecting. And I felt like they did the absolute opposite of that.
Fire away, Mike.
So I'm going to go from 9 minutes and 12 seconds of the show on the 23rd.
Okay.
I think it's the same thing for him. Or to do something. You know what?
All right, so I'm going to turn off the audio here, and I'm going to bring up
One day, something in the community, and
okay.
Obviously they do tolerate it because other fighters. My girlfriend is from Mexico City.
Here we go. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to play just this podcast, I think, because this is going to give us the gist of it. Okay, here we go.
Alright, so obviously your video had resurfaced, and by the time we did our show early on Monday, we hadn't really heard of all this, but back in the hotel in Mexico City, we had a confrontation between Yaya Rodriguez and Jeremy Stephens. I'll save you all the details, all that.
All right, everybody hear that? Can you hear that fine?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to keep playing then.
All that's been on Junkie, it's been retweeted. I think you all saw what happened. Basically, Yair just said something along the lines of what happened, but not really like in a friendly, not giving off a friendly vibe. Steven said, hey, look, you're within my range, gave him a shove. That's all it really was. Unfortunately, some homophobic slurs were traded, but beyond all that, what I mean is a street fight didn't take place. But one thing we said was, hey man, this thing just needs to be rebooked. Well, guess what? It's going down. It's been rebooked for the UFC card in Boston. I'm excited.
Okay, let's start off with the rebooking. I'm excited for it too, but I don't know if people grasp this right away. The way it was rebooked completely changes the dynamic of the fight.
Okay, so it does completely change the dynamic of the fight. So what they get to eventually, and I can play some of that later, but maybe I'm not on the right spot, is they talk about intention, and they go back to, for one thing, they talk about the show money. And we know Jeremy Stephens spent $30,000 on his camp. And the MMA junkies are like, oh, the UFC maybe should do something for them, maybe not give them all their show money, but maybe throw them a few $1,000s. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Jeremy Stevens moved to... What's up?
They should give them their whole paycheck.
Well, absolutely, and I believe they will. But, I mean, why MMA Junkie would even recommend that at first, but that's not the disgusting part of it.
Okay.
And they're advocating, they're talking, saying, oh, yeah, we should give him a few $1,000s because Jeremy Stevens was there like 6 weeks before in Mexico City. So they keep talking, and they touched on it there for a minute. They were talking about the supposed homophobic slurs.
Yeah.
The first point was Jeremy Stevens. He used the F word, and please, nobody get uncomfortable, but I feel like sometimes we give these words too much power. I'm going to say it. He called him a faggot. He said the word. I feel just by like saying the F word that we're giving people way too much power. So that's what he says. So Yair Rodriguez repeats it back. Then there's the discussion. Is Yair Rodriguez as responsible in a second language for saying that word as Jeremy Stevens is? What would you say? I mean, I guess I'm putting you in... I won't put you in a tough position. I don't think he is. Especially if he's... he doesn't know what he's saying. He's just repeating it. Maybe he doesn't know the word in English. I think we need more...
Know.
What's that?
Yair Rodriguez can speak English fluently.
Okay, so maybe he knew what he was saying back. It's a heated moment that people didn't know was being recorded. And I'm not saying that that's things that we should say to people. But Junkie goes on to say, we know the intent of those people was not against any protected class. It wasn't to offend anyone. It was a word that was used for a long time, like dummy, whatever, to insult. And, neither one of those people definitely, I believe, meant to disparage, people of sexual orientation whatsoever. And one of those, I believe... Oh, go ahead.
Let me interrupt, Mike. Pete Ordinary has a good point here that Yair called Bisbing the same word in Spanish for winking at him. So Yair knows his intent when he uses that language. So he does not get a free pass whatsoever.
All right, thank you, Pete. That's good context that I did not realize. What I'll go into the next thing is that what I disagree with, and that's okay if people disagree with me, but I was upset because Goes actually came out and he said that he felt for the UFC to make this go away and make a statement, even though these guys did not know they were being recorded, nobody had permission, that they should give up their win bonuses and any performance bonuses that they get for that night because of those words they said before. I have an issue with that.
Well, I'm not sure what they're saying when the fight was a no contest, so they're not getting a win bonus or a performance bonus.
No, they want to take it away from them for the next fight.
See, that opens a bad can of worms because that means you're guilty before even committing an action in the future,
Yeah, I was glad I didn't go live that day because I've been stewing about this for almost a week, that they would try to take $100,000 out of fighters' pockets, and I didn't realize the precedence with Yair Rodriguez. So, I mean, maybe that makes a little bit of a difference now. But for them to come out and say, we know what the intent was, and it wasn't malicious, and then to come right back afterwards and say, we need to take over $100,000 from these fighters that entertain us and risk their lives, that just wasn't acceptable to me.
My view I agree with you. 100% of this blame goes on Yair Rodriguez and his camp. The fact that they even approached Jeremy Stevens after the fight was completely uncalled for and unnecessary. And his actions after the fight were despicable. He didn't handle himself like a professional whatsoever. He didn't do anything to stop the pretty much borderline riot in the crowd. And I think that he deserves to not be profiled as such a upstanding fighter an upstanding role model when he has done nothing but put a whole black mark on this entire situation. And he is 100% the instigator, and he's the guilty party in my book, and that's what I'll say about that.
And the other half of it, I totally agree with you on that, for him bringing that up. For him to approach Jeremy Stevens and some of the words that we're saying, I don't know if you heard the tape from Yaya Rodriguez approaching Jeremy Stevens.
I have not.
So he came up to Jeremy Stevens, and first he's putting his hand out, and Jeremy Stevens is like, hey, thinking he's going to shake my hand. He's being good, and this is what set Jeremy Stevens off. Yaya Rodriguez, inside the cage, he said the right things when the cameras were watching. He said, Jeremy Stevens, obviously, he couldn't go on like this. Even said, I have not dealt with something like this, so I don't know how he feels. Then Yaya Rodriguez comes back immediately, I believe less than an hour later, said, I have had an eye that I couldn't see out of. I kept fighting, and I just told him I could see. Then he goes up to Yaya Rodriguez and said, Jeremy Stevens, and says, you are a coward, and the fact that you did not continue the fight, you will regret that for the rest of your life.
And see, I have no respect for Yaya Rodriguez when he was so scared as a beat that he damn near left the promotion. So let's not talk about anyone's toughness when he just wants to act like a child. And I am 100% rooting against Yaya Rodriguez from here on out.
Definitely between these two, I'm very upset. And I mean, I was a big Jeremy Stevens fan anyways, but I never had an issue with Yaya Rodriguez. I liked watching him fight. But yeah, a lot of unacceptable behavior on his part.
I feel like his camp has propped up his ego so much that he thinks he's big, tough leader of the block, and he's just an average fighter in my book.
I agree. Yeah, Ordinary says Yara ruined his rep. It's good. I'm glad they rebooked it so fast. It's definitely a huge fight now. There's going to be a lot of people watching, and I'm a little upset. I am disappointed that it's a co-main, that it's only going to be 3 rounds, though.
Yeah, and like Pete's saying, Yair has completely tarnished the reputation that he had established, and I feel like maybe he had the wrong people in his ear, and he just has a big ego for no reason, and he needs to be humbled, and I'll give him time to redeem himself, but as of right now, he don't look too good.
E-Tart Adventure says Yair is a punk. I hope he gets knocked out. He really fed into a raucous crowd. That could have gotten much worse than what it was. I mean, there was rioting earlier during the night when Carla Esparza won. I listened to her in an interview with Ariel Helwani. She had beer thrown on her, food thrown on her. So there was already that kind of atmosphere in the crowd, and he knew that.
Yeah, and no offense to Carla Esparza, but I'm granted she was mistreated, but the fans in Mexico, probably the UFC is going to think twice before going back there now.
Well, I mean, there is a different expectation in Mexico and Brazil and some of these South America countries, and before we judge them, this is the point that I make. There's been an expectation set for them. Here in America, we've had plenty of riots. We've had, people in the crowd fighting with players and vice versa. People now know that the penalty is so fierce for that to happen that it's just not worth it anymore. It's like drunk driving. Not too many people are getting pulled over for drunk driving anymore.
This has happened in America. A lot of people don't remember this, but there was a boxing match in Auburn Hills, Detroit, Michigan, between Mike Tyson and Andrew Galata, where Andrew Galata quit on the stool. And when they walked Andrew Galata to the locker room, the fans were throwing beer and beer bottles at Galata as he walked out of the arena.
Yeah, I remember that, and people did not realize what the issue was with Galata. And to be fair, even myself, and I know I was younger at the time, I think we had a different expectations of ourselves, of what we would accept from a fighter. I didn't know at the time what the injury was to Andrew Galata. I'm just listening to the commentaries. And I'm like, oh, he quit on his stool. Well, I didn't realize he had 4 broken ribs and was peeing blood for 2 weeks. That's important.
Yeah, it's funny because I watched that because they had a really good boxing documentary. And then right after that, they showed the fight where Holyfield was bit twice. And Tyson said he did it because he was getting headbutted. And the fans nearly rioted during that one. And the fans also nearly rioted during the, was it Galata Riddick Bowe?
The Holyfield Riddick Bowe, they knocked that fan man guy out, even though he had a helmet on. I mean, they bashed him with beer bottles. They brutalized that guy. They literally could have killed him if he had not had a helmet on. He was definitely unconscious for quite some time and continued to take a beating.
But see, that's boxing. I've never seen this happen in the UFC. Nothing to this extent. And Yair Rodriguez fueled this fire, and he's the culprit. He's the guilty party. No matter how we slice this.
Yeah, but just what I wanted to nip in the bud before you start hearing people, because I'm seeing a lot of it online as people are saying, oh, the Mexican crowds, they're not as immature, they're more violent, they're more... If you put no expectations on American fans and they think they can get away with this, and especially when they see everybody else doing it, and you get this mob mentality, that's going to happen anywhere and almost everywhere.
And there's a really good documentary series on YouTube, Mike, that breaks down a lot of the history of like controversial boxing events and everything. Where the last one I watched was that Venezuelan knockout artist that was like 20-0 and was about to fight Manny Pacquiao, and he ended up killing his wife in a hotel room and then committed suicide in prison.
Oh wow!
And he was like the next big thing in boxing. He was probably going to go down as one of the hardest hitting punchers ever. He was 27-0 with 27 knockouts.
Did you say this was an HBO documentary?
No, it's a boxing guy on YouTube that does really good breakdowns. He has one on Tommy Morrison. He has one on the Holyfield Tyson. He has one on the Fan Man.
You remember what the channel is, so we can give him some props?
Let me look it up while we're on here real quick.
Yeah, feel free to throw it up there, because if I'm interested in it, maybe somebody else is interested in it
still
too.
Good, though. And his production value for just being a YouTuber is really, really good. It's like watching an HBO boxing documentary. It really is. So...
Pass interference, Davis.
My internet wasn't so darn slow.
On the defense here, we're going to look. Oh, yeah, that was pass interference. He grabs him from behind, kind of like around the helmet there, and then swats the ball. So it was the first half of that to get to the ball was pass interference.
Yeah. I'm just going to look it up on my phone real quick.
All right, yeah, let me know. But, yeah, down there in these countries, and now I feel like I can talk about this now that I put that context out there. It is very normal at soccer games in Brazil and Mexico. I know this because my sensei grew up in Mexico and then came in the United States as a young kid. So the referees would have to run before the end of the game if they made the wrong calls, because everybody in the crowd, or a lot of people, would bring buckets of paint. Have you heard about this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got the name, Mike. It's Boxing Legends TV. He has so many good ones, dude. I'm serious. It's the best.
Boston Legends TV. All right, I'm going to save that channel on my...
It's Boxing Legends TV.
Oh, Boxing Legends.
Yeah, because he's got one... And he has good titles. The one about the guy from Venezuela is called The Mysterious Fighter with Evil Intentions. There's one about Julian Jackson. Is this the hardest puncher ever? The Downfall of Anthony Joshua is his newest one. And he's got some on the beginning of Floyd Mayweather, Tommy Morrison, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Amir Khan, Zab Judah, Prince Nassim.
Wow.
It's just really good.
Oh, this sounds awesome. Okay.
He's got 180 videos, and he's got 100 or 1.3 million subscribers.
Wow, well, I
And I
got to
don't
see
blame
what
him.
he's doing. Damn. I just put up the link for anybody if you guys want to, if that sounds interesting, you want to check it out. I subscribe to him real quick so I don't forget.
Yeah, his content is top notch. I really recommend it to anyone that's a boxing fan that loves the history of boxing. It's really good. And he doesn't drag it on. They're only like 20, 25-minute videos. So he hits the important parts.
That's awesome because I mean it's very tempting to drag things on YouTube because obviously I mean you're rewarded
I
for your
would love
minutes
to know what he
watched.
does for production, because we could do some MMA videos in his style, which I think people would love.
Prescott
Meanwhile,
over the top to 89, 2 yards out of the end
the
zone.
goal. I guess we'll get back to the game now that halftime's over, but yeah, Boxing Legends TV, guys. Good channel.
What's going on, Nate Tizzo in the house? Yeah, I was enjoying the fight talk there, and then the Cowboys just explode with this big play. Number 89 that tied in opposite Jason Witten.
But when you get a chance, Mike, watch those and then text me and tell me what you think of them.
All right. Yeah, no, I definitely will. All right, 1st and goal from about the 2-yard line for the Dallas Cowboys, and they're going to go to another commercial break here. So, but yeah, I will definitely check him out. 180 videos, 1.2 million subscribers. That's really impressive. I got to see when.
And I think you could get some content ideas from the way he does his videos. I was thoroughly impressed with his approach to it.
So here's one of the first things that I look at, and it makes me feel a little bit better about my crappy editing, I guess.
Yeah.
He's been a YouTuber since June of 2014.
Uh-huh.
So it could have, to do those 180 videos, could have taken him 5 years.
Yeah, and he just kind of found his stride. And I think people would be interested if we could do some MMA style, because there's so many stories. I would like us to do a documentary on Evan Tanner if we could.
That would be very cool. Yeah, no, I would definitely be interested in doing some documentaries with you now that I'm all Apple. Sorry for those that are not Apple fans, but I switched over to. It's just so much easier for creators for editing. The
Right.
iMovie, everything. It's just I just retarded at editing.
'Cause I know we're on camera and everything, but I had an idea that we could do the top 25 stories of the history of MMA.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Something
In the
I
style
see.
that this guy does it.
Go ahead. What's that?
In the same style that this boxing gentleman does it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out, see how hard it is to do that, because I'm actually paying for Adobe Premiere right now too, which has Photoshop and a bunch of other crap. Basically, I took all the sponsor money I got recently from new sponsors. I just put it all back into the channel, into equipment, into subscriptions, and things like that. So when I get the time, I got a little more horsepower now.
Right. So anyone in the chat interested in a UFC/MMA documentary series, let us know. First and goal, Cowboys. Prescott and shotgun.
All right. Back the handoff to Elliott. And he is denied. Gets to the 1-yard line. So 2nd and goal from the 1.
I'd give it right back to Elliott again. Just keep pounding the rock.
Yeah, he's going to get it through. He's definitely one of the best running backs in the league right now. Most likely he's going to get it through. You don't want to pull a Seahawks and not give it to Marshawn Lynch.
He's in.
And
Touchdown,
Elliott
Cowboys.
gets it.
So that's going to put the Cowboys in the lead early on in the second half.
All right, I'm going to update that. Wow, yeah. New Orleans, I was just about to say before that pass, that New Orleans was really starting to control the tempo of the game, which is exactly what you said they needed to do.
Yeah.
And
Nate thinks it's hit and miss unless you can get interviews. Nate, the good thing about having Mike in your corner is Mike can get MMA interviews. Mike's a little more connected than people know.
Oh, a hit or a miss and an MMA interview. Yeah, I mean, can get quite a few people in. Those have not been the most viewed videos that I've had, but I think I could market them more creatively and maybe use these interviews more creatively, like putting them into videos and things.
Yeah, and like even your buddy Matt Horowitz, I know he knows a lot of the Evan Tanner situation, so we could use him for that one.
Well, thank you, Nate. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was just talking to him a couple days ago, actually. We were talking about doing... he wants to be in the promo video when I do put together the channel trailer. Like when you click on a channel for the trailer, he wants to be in that. So I was like, yeah, of course.
Teddy Bridgewater and the Saints need to respond to the last drive from Dallas because now they're behind for the first time since 3-0. Cowboys getting ready to kick the ball back to the Saints.
Well, and I mean, that's what happens when you basically, I feel like this is kind of a grit versus explosiveness and skill. You know, grit can grind it out for 15 minutes, and that explosiveness can take it back in one play, one or two plays.
Alan Crisp presents Saints Mount Rushmore. Sean Payton, Drew Brees, Willie Roaf, and Ricky Jackson. I agree with that. That's not a bad one. I would throw Archie Manning on there as well, though. He's a legendary Saints player.
Oh, for the Saints, for sure. And they're showing back when the Saints had the bags on their head, 1-15 season.
1st and 10 to 25, Teddy Bridgewater under center. 3 wide, 1 back. The run in the reverse to Kamara. Breaks free.
Oh, and he breaks free.
Almost 9.
It's about 6 yards there. I'm sorry, I haven't been updating the time. 7:41 left in the third quarter. That looks like it's going to be about 2nd and 4 for the New Orleans Saints.
Al Michaels is probably one of the most legendary play-by-play guys in the history of the game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he does a very good job.
I liked it so much when it was him and John Madden on the commentary booth.
Well, I mean, that's a dream team, you know?
Yeah.
I thought Gruden was very good, too. I wonder if he's going to regret going back to coaching.
He says that he didn't because he had the itch to go back so bad.
That's what I figured it must be because, I mean, not that this like comes easy and this is not like a lot of work and stuff. I've never coached a professional football team, obviously, but It kind of seems like the commentating gig would be quite a bit easier.
He was getting paid like $5 million a year from ESPN too.
Yeah, he's getting paid a lot. Did you hear Tony Romo? It looks like it's going to be the highest paid commentator ever.
Yeah, has he decided where he's going to go next year?
Not as of the podcast I was listening to today, which I think was a few days ago. He had not signed. I believe he's with CBS right now.
Yeah, but I heard that ESPN wants him to be the Monday Night Football guy.
They're going to have to break the bank to get him.
Well,
I haven't really even listened to him. Apparently, he must be really good. I've always felt like Tony Romo. I'm not that I'm a Tony Romo hater, but I just never understood the hype behind that guy.
Flea flicker.
Oh, haven't seen that in a while. And
it's
the pass
complete
to Michael Thomas, number 13. Would have been more impressive if they got the first down out of it, but good yardage here. It's going to be a 2nd and 2.
Angry Boy says, I'm happy Scott Linehan is gone. Kellen Moore forever. Yeah, Kellen Moore has been really impressive as the new coordinator for the Cowboys. And I remember when Kellen Moore was the quarterback at Boise State, and now he's the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. That's just a really awesome journey that Kellen Moore has been on.
What's up, Angry Boy? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Oh, Kamara, big run here to the 50. And another first down, and New Orleans, it's going to take them a bit to score. They're going to continue to grind, and maybe that offense, after they score, needs to go over to that defense or the coordinator and say, hey, we have to really work to get these points on the board. Can you please not give it up in 1 or 2 plays? I'm not sure how you tactfully say that.
1st and 10 at midfield for the Saints. Bridgewater in shotgun, drops back to pass. Pass over the middle. It is complete. Not sure who caught it. Oh, Jared Cook with the reception. It's going to set up 2nd and short, 9 yards on the play. Almost 9.5. It's going to be about 2nd and a half
Yeah, that was
yard.
very close. I thought they might call the first down there for a minute, depending on where they spot the ball. But yeah, it's short of a yard.
They're showing Sean Payton and Rod Marinelli. Rod Marinelli is the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. And, of course, Sean Payton is the head coach for the Saints. But he's also the offensive play caller. All right, 2nd and short.
Hand off to Kamara.
That's actually
that's to
Davis
Murray.
Yep. He gets the first, though, a 3-yard gain on 2nd and short. First down, Saints. Nice little drive to respond to the Cowboys' last touchdown.
I seen the score of the game, Angry Boy. Wow. That is incredible. 55 points. That's insane. That gives me hope for my Seahawks in that division.
It's one of the best games that Jameis Winston's ever had, was that game.
I might be able to come an avalanche. Oh, here's Kamara. Wow, he is breaking tackles everywhere. Turns what could have been maybe like a 2 or 3 yard play into about 13 yards.
And a first down. What were you saying about the Avalanche, Mike?
That is power back running. I was going to say, I'll adopt the Colorado Avalanche for a year. Maybe you could adopt the Seahawks since your Broncos are 0-4.
My second team is the 49ers, though.
Oh, and see, now I can't talk to you.
My mom and little brother live 2 blocks away from the stadium.
My wife's whole family is 49ers fans, so.
Sounds like your wife's family's pretty smart people.
And I talked to her, so.
Is your wife a Niners fan or a Seahawks fan?
She's not a huge football fan. She's more of a Seahawks fan now, just since being here, but she's not a big football fan. All right, PBR Street Gang, later, man. Hey, thank you for the donation coming in, too. Appreciate it. You've been taking care of us quite often lately, and it does not go unnoticed. Have a great night, sir.
You know what's a good idea, Mike? Is for all these people that donate, you should have, like, a viewer of the week or something to give them kudos and stuff for, like, Dean Hamper and all them.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I just figured out how to bring up the Super Chats again.
Yeah.
I really just, need a young Jamie. And, I know I kind of got short with somebody the other week, and they're like, oh, we don't want to watch you as you're just, looking up these things. And it's a little more difficult than you think. You're watching, these guys on ESPN and, even Joe Rogan when he's commentating, or not Joe Rogan, but the UFC team. And Ariel Helwani is actually who I was thinking of. He has stats people even feeding him things into his ears and on his screen now.
Right.
So, for one person to do it, it's not that easy.
No, we're just going to need to get better equipment and, really fast internet so I can send you stuff immediately.
First down here for the Saints. Yeah, I want to try a thing that, and maybe check out his channel, MoTV Scream's been using. It's called StreamYard. And
I heard
apparently,
there's a lot of bad stuff about StreamYard. Be careful.
really.
Yeah, bad stuff.
All right, we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about it maybe after the stream.
Yeah. And be real protective when you talk to Mr. Right-wing Republican redneck Mo Scream.
All right, fakes the handoff and the pass. Wow! Oh, and he drops it. Number 89. I don't know him well. I just know that he's a fellow YouTuber and MMA commentator.
I did a little bit of research, so possibility of Dutch Guy 2.0, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
What's up there, Nelson? All right, we'll take that off.
Right.
Off screen, yeah.
You should. Hey, Theron, what kind of hat are you wearing tonight?
That was an incredible hat the other day, but your video cut short, Theron. You got to record the whole time. I'm enjoying these.
Angry boy, the Saints still have the ball. They're just coming back from a penalty call, and right on cue, another flag down. So he says, "Hey now." Yeah, his video did cut out pretty quick, didn't it, Mike?
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure if something happened, but I could tell that you were saying more, but the video was only like 3 seconds. Oh, okay. Only wear them at the grocery store. All right.
2nd and 5. There was offsides on the Cowboys in that last play. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Cowboys 10, Saints 9. It's going to be a good road to the finish here as it's a 1-point game with the Saints driving to try to take back the lead.
And while we have a break, I just wanted to mention something. Rob Iman, are you out there? I wanted to give some credit to Rob Iman, something that's I haven't recognized thoroughly, and something that's maybe people haven't noticed as much. But you notice Rob Iman's been taking time to do a breakdown after each card of what each fighter should do after the event, and it's pretty thorough.
Right, yeah. They're showing a preview of that Disney service you were talking about, Mike.
Yeah, my wife's all over that. I'll not say I'm not a Disney fan, but
they're supposed to have some pretty good original shows they're making, though. So, oh wow, I didn't know their National Geographic was part of it. It's Disney, Star Wars, Pixar, Marvel, and National Geographic.
Yeah, that's very cool. And here's the link here to the Facebook page. Anybody that's not signed up on the Facebook page, I know a lot of you guys are, but just send an invite. It's an invite-only party, guys, so not feel privileged if you're...
Angry Boy, yes, I watch the NBA. I'm a diehard Denver Nuggets fan, but I follow I'm just a sports fanatic. I watch every sport. That's all I do is MMA and every major sport you can think of, including tennis and golf. So that's sports is life for me. But yes, I do watch the NBA. That was a long-winded answer. I apologize.
Yeah, Billy knows way more about a lot of these other sports than me. I've just concentrated basically on MMA and boxing for a long time.
I'm pretty much Mike's glorified research assistant. That's what I am.
Well, you're kind of like my Jamie to Rogan, but you're not in studio. But then you're commentating on top of it. So I don't know. I don't know that you're like the commentating as much as me, but then you're the research on top of it. So
kind of like how Red Band was when the Joe Rogan show started.
I never watched it back then. But I know, he was no more after a while.
Yeah, Red Band really started focusing on his comedy group and setting up comedy shows. And so Rogan needed someone to focus more, and that's when he got young Jamie.
Well, I'm sure he had no idea how big it was going to become either.
Right. But yeah, Rogan and young Jamie are like best friends now.
Got to make your wife a wreath for the holidays ASAP. I'll mail it. There, Nelson, 1/2 of Gmail.
Angry Boy says, I'm a sad Cavs fan. Well, you know, you had LeBron forever, and now you have John Beilein as your head coach. Colin Sexton looks like he's going to be a good player. So there's some potential there with the Cavaliers. They might need a couple years, though.
Oh, I'm going to need a lot of help on hockey expertise because I've never been a hockey expert. Oh, and a fumble!
He was down, I think, Mike.
Flag on the play. Wow, they were big play for New Orleans. A lot of stuff going on this play. Let's see what the officials have to say about this.
The hard part about us doing hockey is pronouncing the names. That's going to be the most difficult part. There's some long names in hockey.
A lot of Russians, like in MMA.
I don't know who you're asking about, Angry Boy, but I was talking about Sexton, the second-year point guard you guys got, and the Cavs' new head coach, John Beilein.
What's up, Robert Christian? How's it going? Yeah, I look forward to doing some NBA commentating, but I'm gonna have to watch. I'm not gonna be ready probably on opening day. Maybe if I watch prelims, I'm gonna have to watch a lot of NBA to familiarize myself.
It's going to be an interesting season with the NBA because there was a lot of change in the offseason. Lots of change.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, for these two games, I mean, I'm not like I've been studying the entire time, but I've been watching tape and kind of studying for about 4 or 5 days for these games, and I feel like I'm still not real prepared.
Fourth down, it's going to be a 26-yard field goal attempt for Will Lutz to give the Saints back the lead. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good.
There was no fumble, Angry Boy. It was the Saints, and he was ruled down by contact.
12-10 Saints, 13:41 left to go in the game. Now it's the Cowboys' turn to answer back. That's awesome. NBA is becoming the biggest global phenomenon right behind soccer. Because everyone can play basketball. Country-wise, you know.
Huge NBA fan, my first love, then MMA, then football. Wow, bigger than MMA, huh, Robert?
I can't remember the NBA being any better except for, like, the Jordan era. It's so good right now.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I enjoy the UFC, and not to beat a dead horse more, though, is that I don't always have so much of a horse in the game. Like, I was such a hardcore Sonics fan that I didn't appreciate the Michael Jordan era the way that I probably should have. But I also had that experience with the Sonics, I guess, with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp and Detlef Schrempf and Sam Perkins.
Angry Boy, that's interesting. I bet India's got, over 1 billion people there, so there's a lot of eyes to focus on if you can get NBA to be mainstream there.
Oh, definitely. They need to go there.
And Robert Christensen, that is true. You got LeBron and Anthony Davis versus Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and they share the same arena for the time being because the Clippers are building their own arena here in the near future.
Oh, okay. I get what he's saying there. Yeah, they're in the same conference.
Don't sleep on my Denver Nuggets. We're a young, hungry team. I don't think we're ready to take on the big boys, but they're a fun team to watch.
Well, I was seeing the Warriors and Cavs in the finals every year there for a while, and it's like, Warriors again.
No, I don't think the Warriors are going to... I think the Warriors still go to the playoffs, but now that Kevin Durant's a Brooklyn Net and Klay Thompson is going to be out for at least the first half of the year, the Warriors are probably the fourth best team in the Western Conference behind the two LA teams in Houston, because Houston has Russell Westbrook and James Harden now.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a breakup in some trades there. That should definitely make the season more interesting. Never heard of junior NBA Robert Christian.
Theron Nelson throwing up some random. Yeah.
Oh my God, Theron Nelson! We need to get Theron Nelson on the show. I'm not even joking. He cracks me up. You crack me up, man.
I forgot about that angry boy. I forgot that they got Willie Cauley-Stein. Yeah, Nicola and Murray are good. Gary Harris is one of the best young defenders at the shooting guard, too. And we have Michael Porter Jr., and who knows, if he lives up to his potential, Michael Porter Jr. should be a superstar. But he's injury prone, so you have to be patient with that. All right, 2nd and 6 for the Cowboys. 13 minutes to go. Dak Prescott back in shotgun. Amari Cooper in motion.
Big play here. Dallas trying to keep that 0.
Prescott back to pass. Ooh, that was a mix-up.
Oh.
The receiver was not ready for that ball. He was looking for Randall Cobb, but Cobb was not ready for the pass.
Yeah, 12:58 left here in the 4th. 3rd and 6 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, angry boy, they are a good duo. I'm waiting for Jamal Murray to reach his full potential, though, because I vision him almost like a Russell Westbrook, a really elite scoring point guard. He just needs to – he's too up and down still. But if he can reach his potential – because Nikola Jokic is one of the top 10 players in basketball already. He's probably, behind Anthony Davis, the best center in basketball.
All right, snap from Prescott. Oh! Beautiful play by New Orleans, but there's a flag on the play, and I think it's going to be maybe unnecessary roughness after the play. Kind of a weird camera angle on that.
All the Saints defenders are pretty upset. It's holding on the Saints. 5-yard penalty, but it's an automatic first down for Dallas. They called it on Von Bell, the safety out of Ohio State.
He's been collecting flags like baseball cards.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely holding them. You can see it clear as day there.
Well, he's got a hand on the chest. So if you don't close your hand, is that technically holding? I mean, by the dictionary definition of the word, he's not holding. He's got his hand on him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I thinking too much into that, or do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see what you're saying, completely.
And I got to throw out there, as easy as it is to be critical of all these referees, so many plays to go through, it's very easy to cherry pick the things that you don't agree with.
Right.
Oh, a reverse from the Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott hands it off to number 10 there, gets it to about the 7-yard line, Austin.
I got to refill my water. I'll be right back.
Or excuse me, to about 7, about 3rd and 3. All right. Mavericks got Kristaps and Luka are good 3-pointers. I got to be honest, you guys are educating me as far as the NBA right now. I didn't watch for years. So I'm going to have to get caught up like big time. Like I literally boycotted basketball for when the Sonics left for the most part. Oh, tipped ball by 19. That could have gotten ugly there. Prescott off the hands of his receiver. That's not Prescott's fault, but he could have ended up with an interception. And 4th and 2. 11:34 left in the 4th quarter. Oh, yeah, he could not have hit him any better. I mean, he had him right on the numbers. And Cowboys have to punt there. I mean, he is turning away from it there. is Cobb, or I mean, he's kind of turning back into it, excuse me. So the difficulty of the catch becomes more, but you can't blame that one on Prescott. And that's going to bounce into the end zone. He looks like he was trying to keep it out of the end zone, but not going to happen. Got an NBA League Pass for the last 5 years. How much does that run you, Robert Christian? I'm just curious. I mean, there's probably way more games on than I could cover. And I really don't even have a team right now, so I probably wouldn't get it this year. I mean, depending on how much it is. All right, guys. Make sure and check out our sponsor, the Cash App. I was wondering what the deal was with the Cash App. A lot of people are making a big deal of it. A lot of people are asking me. They've asked me for donations, all kinds of things. Do you have the Cash App? I donate to you if I have the Cash App. Can you pay me through Cash App? You can buy cryptocurrency. You can do all kinds of things. But the coolest thing about the Cash App is basically you can text people money for free. And, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything at the moment. I mean, they may charge you eventually, but put in my code, try out the Cash App, and not only are they going to give you the service for free, they're going to give you $5 for trying out the service. And I'm sure if you've heard on Rogan, you know that they have all kinds of bonuses when you spend money at all kinds of different stores. And I'm really enjoying it. I've used it quite a bit more than I thought I would. And I said, yeah, it hasn't cost me a dime. And just to be transparent, I've been told I need to say this more. Every time you use one of my links or one of my sponsors, I just have to disclose that I am monetarily compensated either by cash or products from all sponsors. 200, but forgot that I pay $50 a month for 4 months, up like 25 to 30 games a week. That's a lot of games. See, I know I say I work so much, and my wife says I'm being a wuss about it, so maybe I kind of am. But, I mean, 40 to 50 hours a week for me, and then family, and then this. Maybe I just need to manage my time better, but I do find myself struggling to, to find time for the things that I'm trying to do. So, 11:26 left here in the fourth quarter, 1st and 10. Saints with the ball up 12-10, 11:26 in the fourth quarter. And Bridgewater's going to hand it off to Kamara Usman, and there is Kamara. Did I just say Kamara Usman? I did. Not the UFC fighter, the running back Kamara. Flag on the play, offensive holding. Maybe on number 75, Pete. There's no way, too many to cover all. Yeah, and it sounds like you're like with the NBA, like I might get with the NFL, or almost like I am like with MMA. And I mean, football's always going to be number 2 for me, probably. It's going to be MMA and boxing number 1, and then football number 2. Bridgewater back. Completion to Kamara, but now they're running on 1st and 20. Gets to about the 12, and this is going to be 2nd and long. One Kamara is burring us. Bro, how many yards does Alvin Kamara got? I haven't seen him pop it up in a little while. I should have some stats running on the... I'm going to have to look at other channels and some things to see if... I can get something that updates stats for people better. Is there something you use for that, Billy? Because I know all the sites for MMA.
Say that again?
Is there a certain spot that you go to for stats and different things in the NFL? Maybe just the NFL website?
I use the ESPN app on my phone.
Okay.
It has,
Well, I guess I should use that.
yeah, it has pretty good extensive stats and breakdowns.
Is it the same one as the fantasy app, or is it the other one?
You can use the fantasy app to get there too.
Okay, because I have two of them. I use one for ESPN Plus, and then I use the other one for fantasy.
Yeah.
And
And because you're an ESPN Plus subscriber, you get access to exclusive content when it comes to stats and like betting lines and all that stuff on the website. So
all right, that's a big completion to Michael Thomas, number 13, and yards after the carry, but in flag on the play.
there's so many flags tonight. It's incredible.
I did not see the Browns and Ravens. I've been hearing about that game all day, though, and then the Buccaneers and the Rams game.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield and company really poured it on Baltimore today.
Have you ever went back on YouTube and seen where they do like the condensed version of the game in like 12 minutes?
Uh-uh.
Oh, it's very cool. Basically, just Google any two teams. I don't even remember what the channel is. Or not Google, I mean, type it into YouTube. Just type in like Seahawks versus, the Arizona Cardinals. And it's going to show, it's going to start from the very beginning of the first quarter. It'll show you every major play. And I've watched it when I didn't know who won the game. And it's been a pretty cool experience, like 10 to 15 minutes, and you get the whole game.
Most Sundays, I'll watch the Broncos game and like the Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night games. But if the Broncos aren't playing at that time, I'll watch NFL Red Zone. That way I get to see all the games at once.
Kamara gets about 4 or 5 yards. That's a pay service, though, right?
Yeah, it's $5 a month on my cable
Oh, is that
bill.
all? Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It does all add up after a while, but...
Robert Christensen, I've heard that too. It's incredible. Just the uptick in penalties. It's like me and Mike were saying earlier. It's completely ruined the flow of a normal game now. It's so choppy to watch it now.
Yeah, it really seems crazy. I mean, I hope they address this because, I mean, I'm really trying to get into this, and it's like, it makes it hard to commentate. You almost start to feel like an NFL apologist. I do, anyways. Wasn't that a cool invention, though, when they did the wristband thing and they just pull that up and pull the play off of there?
Timeout, Bridgewater. 7:37 to go. 3rd and 6 for the Saints. New Orleans 12, Dallas 10. It's crunch time, folks. Huge game in the NFC tonight between New Orleans and Dallas.
Browns' running game was impressive today, Robert says. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch the highlights from that. Yeah, the roughing the passer, that's the biggest one I have, Angry Boy, like I was talking before, is I want to protect the passer too. But something I think the league really needs to look at is when a quarterback is sliding into a defender. It seems like I've literally seen the quarterback draw a foul, like in the NBA, when they used to have like that chronic problem with guys leaning in and drawing fouls. And you just can't have that in the NFL. I mean, not that it's good in the NBA, but the penalties are just, to me, seem so much more lucrative. Or so much more punishing. All right, Kamara has just 12 carries for 53 yards. Rushing, anyways.
I wonder if the Saints having to settle for 4 field goals is going to come back and haunt them.
I think it definitely could. But the Cowboys have only put 10 points up as well, so...
Yeah, with all the controversy with CTE, they really became stringent on the roughing the passer. But I almost feel like they've gone too far now.
Yeah,
If
no,
that makes
I
sense.
agree.
And
And
can
I
we
know
talk
they're
about
trying to
the?
find the balance. And I mean, at the end
Yeah,
of the day, you're not going to get sued by anybody for calling too many penalties. And they're losing lawsuits for this TBI. I think it's just going to get to the point, if we're going to continue to have football, that basically
yeah.
people are going to be able to sign a waiver. Hey, you're getting paid millions of dollars. These are the risks you're taking. This is what we know. This is what you need to know. Do you agree with it or not?
Robert Christensen says the Saints have done a good job on Zeke, in my opinion. I agree. They've really nullified the running attack for Dallas. All right, here we go. Third and
Yeah.
6 for the Saints.
Trevi
Bridgewater back to
McTrev in the
pass.
house.
Here
What's
comes the
up,
blitz,
man?
and they get him.
Oh, wow! Blindside sack. Robert Quinn,
Robert
number
Quinn.
58.
Robert Quinn got him.
That was explosive, and that could be a game-breaking play, pushing the Saints back for a loss and a fourth down.
Trevi McTrev says, Mike, how about them Bucks?
That was impressive, man. 55 points. I don't remember the only game I can think of that somebody's scoring 55 points, and I'm sure you guys could think of more examples, but what comes to mind is, and sorry, I didn't even think about it being Denver, but you were talking about San Francisco, was that Joe Montana Super Bowl against the Broncos, 55-10.
When the Seahawks beat the Broncos, didn't they score 50 on us?
Oh yeah, they may have. It was high. I couldn't remember that one, but I remember that score, 55-10, because I want to say I was like 10 years old. It was the first time I ever watched the Super Bowl. I was like 9 or 10. Because my dad actually can't stand sport. He doesn't watch any sports, really.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't watch him growing up, but he decided we were going to watch the Super Bowl. So I got into it, and I remembered that score. Now he'll watch more sports. Back then, there was no sports.
And see, I was the complete opposite. My dad, it was just like me. That's why I turned out this way. My dad didn't watch, like, much, TV shows or anything. It was strictly sports. He was a diehard sports fan. So me growing up, in the household, nothing was ever on besides, like, baseball, football, all that. So, I got into that.
Oh, that's
Didn't really have a
awesome.
choice. But my dad's favorite thing to watch sporting-wise was he was a diehard college basketball fan. He loved college basketball more than any other sport.
I really like watching it, but I don't usually end up getting a chance to see too many games during the regular season until March Madness, and then usually I'll try to take a week's vacation during that first week.
Yeah, my dad worked for a high school for like 20 years, and he was so good at the March Madness pool and then the NFL pick'em leagues where you pick the winners of every week.
Yeah.
He won so many years in a row that he got banned the last 5 years he worked there.
Oh,
He won
wow.
too many times. Yeah, because we would win because the football pool at the end of the year, you would win like $1,000, and we won like 7 out of 10 years. So we were killing it.
Oh, that's crazy. See, we also had a football I won't say who I was working for at the time, but we had a football pool at a store, not here in the Seattle area, but there was one guy that used to win it all the time, and then when that guy stopped taking the money and all the picks, he never won again. So, because everybody, he would take everybody's picks and go through and then say you won, but none of us were editing his picks, and we trusted the guy. But then, it was coincidentally, he never won again after winning, seemed like 13 out of 16 weeks in the season.
Yeah, luckily my dad wasn't the one running it, so our wins were official, Prescott back to pass, completes it about 7 yards out to Amari Cooper. Start this crucial drive off for Dallas as they're trailing by 2 with a little under 7 minutes to go in the fourth.
Yep, 6:35 here. 2nd and 1. Yeah, I don't know anything about the WNBA Finals except for I know the Seattle Storm team has won. That's all I know.
Oh, stuff the run there on second down.
Elliott gets
He might
pushed
even
back
lost
for a
a yard.
loss.
Brings up a crucial 3rd down for Dallas.
Yeah, that's a huge stop for this New Orleans defense. If they're able
going
to parlay it on this next play.
This would be where I'd look for Jason Witten across the middle here if I was the Cowboys. Go to your sure-handed tight end or maybe even Amari Cooper, your top wide receiver.
Well, and they got 2
That's
tight
back
ends
to
right
back.
now as well.
He's scrambling out of the pocket.
Plenty of time.
Intercept? Nope, he dropped the interception. Hit him right in the hands, though.
Oh, wow. Great defense for the Saints. 4th and 2, and the Cowboys are going to have an important decision to make. I think they have to punt.
Yeah, they're too far in their own territory. They still have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. But you see Latimer breaking on the ball there for the Saints. Almost came up with the INT.
Oh, yeah, he just jumped that route. Beautiful play there.
Cowboys back to punt. Devontae Harris back to return for the Saints. Calls for the fair catch at the 38-yard line, and that's where Bridgewater and the gang will start their next drive. 5:22 to go in the fourth, and it's 12-10 Saints.
Robert Christian says, with respect, he believes Dak's never been a good pocket quarterback.
He's always struggled. When he was running the show at Mississippi State, he started out as strictly a running quarterback, so he's had a hard time progressing. And there is the stinker of all stinkiness. Wyatt Matheson has joined us.
What's up,
He's
Wyatt
fleeced
in the
Mike in the
house?
trade earlier. Way to get Kerryon Johnson, Wyatt. Impressive, my friend.
Well, I was telling him, and I think I was just so tired when he was looking. He's like, who'd you trade for? I'm like, I don't remember. I know it seemed like a fair trade, but I just don't remember. Nick Chubb has 39 fantasy points. Holy crap.
Yeah, Nick Chubb had 3 touchdowns today. But it looks like Mike had Chris Godwin with 41 points. That's crazy.
Yeah, I got lucky on that one. Obviously, I had no idea that was going to happen, but that...
Can we address the elephant in the room?
What's that?
The weird picture of you in the bottom hand corner.
Why is it weird?
It looks like you're like an evil genius from like a Austin Powers movie.
Well, that wasn't the attempt.
It looks like you're plotting to take over the world.
Oh, I'll have to make sure and keep that one. Just trying to take over the sports world. The whole 9 people watching here. We're well on our way.
That's right. That is a funny picture, though. I looked over and I was thinking, like, I wonder what Bond villain Mike's trying to be in that picture.
Well, no, I was... So here's why I did this. I was reading different things on YouTube. Everybody always says that YouTube likes to promote things with your picture in it. And then I was trying to take a selfie of myself with my damn camera, and I couldn't get the mic in there, so I'm holding the microphone with one hand. I'm holding the phone with the other. So it came out kind of awkward, I think, and then I transposed the other images in afterwards.
Don't worry, we'll make a full poster of that for the Christmas party.
All right, there we go. 5:22 left here in the fourth.
Bridgewater back to pass. He gets it. His favorite target, Michael Tom. Or no, that's Ted Ginn. I'm sorry, I didn't see the 9 there. But Ted Ginn and Michael Thomas are pretty similar looking receivers, especially since one's 19 and one's 13.
Yeah, and anything longer than 4 yards is a deep pass for Bridgewater.
Yeah, he really hasn't tried to force the ball downfield at all. You're right.
He hasn't
He
since
didn't do
he
it
came
last
here.
week either. That's been their game plan. Kamara with the rush. 2 yards, sets up a 3rd and 1. As the clock is now under 5 minutes to go.
They have Spectrum cable there over in Colorado.
Nope.
Are you getting that same message on the screen, though?
Nope.
See, I'm getting, maybe it's just because of our local affiliate. They're saying if you have Spectrum cable, call them. You could get cut off of your local channel starting September 29th. Those things are so annoying. 3rd and 1 for the Saints. Pitch back to
You got
Kamara.
Good run there from
Wow,
Alvin
and he gets
Kamara.
about 8 yards there. September 30th, I guess. Yeah. Oh, so that's tonight. That's why they're having it on there. So,
What channel are they taking away? NBC?
yeah. Doesn't that seem pretty ridiculous?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be free. Get an antenna, I guess.
Oh, nice. Robert Christensen's coming to my stomping grounds on Friday. If you stop through Loveland or Fort Collins, let me know. We'll have a beer.
That's what I'm going to say. You guys have to meet for a beer. 3:30 here in the fourth. 1st and 10. And Kamara, with another run to the 39. Probably about 5-6 yards there. And Saints in a good position to run a lot of time off the clock, score, and end this game.
They call it the 4-minute drive when you're trying to run out the clock in the fourth quarter. Did you know the 2-minute drives to try to make a comeback?
Yeah.
So they call it the 4-minute drive when you're running out the clock.
Well, and they started about 4 minutes. 2:50 left here in the fourth. 2nd and 5. And here comes Kamara, and he is very close to a first down. It's like it's going to be 3rd and 1 or possibly a first down, depending on where they spot it. 3rd and 1.
If you're Dallas, if they give up another first down, you got to start thinking about using those timeouts because the 2-minute warning's fast approaching.
That is true. I expect that they might. Well, they can't run it out on the. Well, no, they might want to call a timeout here because 10 seconds on the play clock. But after they run this play, you're going to have the 2-minute warning. So I would have called a timeout there. Kamara with the first down.
And that's going to take you to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go, folks. Saints 12, Cowboys 10. Saints have the ball 1st and 10. The Cowboys do still have all 3 timeouts, and they're going to have to use them.
Yeah, I think I would have used.
Oh, of course, Robert. We'll treat you nice here.
Some Colorado flowers.
They even just came out with a CBD infused beer here. I can't remember the name of it though.
Huh. That's interesting. I mean, I don't ever take that stuff for the taste. I've had CBD oil for like inflammation, but it always tastes horrible.
Yeah. I love it when the people come back from the CBD stores because they have them everywhere here. And then they act like they're high when you can't get high off CBD at all.
Well, don't they just have regular pot stores everywhere there too, or no?
Not where I live. The next town over, they do. The city council here decided not to have marijuana stores here, but we do have CBD oil stores for the medical purposes all over the place in town. And you'll see these yuppies from out of town go get their CBD gummies and be standing in the park acting like they're tripping, and it's just so awesome.
That's hilarious.
When really, they pretty much took an ibuprofen, you know? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of both around here, but there are cities here that decided not to have the stores in their city limits as well. But it's really funny. My mother-in-law, they have a CBD shop right next to a pot shop. I mean, that's what we call it. It's got all the THC stuff in it.
Yeah.
And the marijuana shop, it's the same owner. It has a wheelchair ramp and handicap access. And the CBD store does not.
Wow.
So explain that one.
The CBD store is not handicap acceptable, I guess.
But CBD is supposed to be for health benefits, so it seems backwards.
The store owner wasn't thinking.
Now, to be fair, the pot shop was built first.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they're hurting for money. That place is... I mean, that parking lot is full at all times.
First down, ball on the 27. Or 33. Sorry, I read it backwards. Hand off to Kamara, 2-yard loss. Cowboys should use their first time out here. And they do.
True? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Robert Christian, is it true that in Texas that even CBD is not legal? Is that not legally nationally? I know I could Google that, but I'm just asking. I thought it was.
I hope that medical marijuana is federally legal within the next 5 years. For all the cancer patients and everyone with seizures and everything.
Yeah, I don't see any reason for it not to. They just have to keep it away from children, and I mean, they have to do that with alcohol. And right now, honestly, it's easier to get illegal drugs in high school than it is alcohol.
Yep, unfortunately, you are right. Second down, Bridgewater back to pass, dumps it off to the fullback for about 4 yards. He stays in bounds. Cowboys should use their second timeout now.
I agree because, New Orleans is going to be facing – this is going to be a big stop here for the Cowboys if they can get it. But, good use of the timeout.
Speaking of hemp, the field down the street from me used to be a pumpkin patch for Halloween, and all that.
Yeah,
and they just turned it into a large hemp field now. And there's signs everywhere that says, please don't steal our plants, that you cannot get high off of them.
That's hilarious. Oh, well, I'm sure it's much more lucrative, especially right now. I mean, hemp is hot.
Yeah, it's a big field, and it literally, you can walk 5 minutes from my house and you'll be at this field.
Yeah, anything to do with the plants. I mean, hemp, the CBD, the THC, everything is, for lack of a better word, on fire.
Yep, that's why the field owner switched over to hemp, because he's getting a good penny for these plants.
I was buying my hemp seeds for my smoothies, and I like to put them in yogurt and cottage cheese and things, but I had to buy them imported from Canada not that long ago.
Cheers,
wow!
Wow.
Talk about a game changer. Number 54, Sachs Bridgewater. That had to have been at least a 20-yard loss. Knocks the Saints out of field goal.
It was Jalen Smith with the sack. And, like you said, Mike, the Saints went from being in field goal range to now being at midfield and have to punt the ball back, where Dallas still only needs a field goal to win now.
He drops back 10. So he lost at least 10 yards on that play.
Jalen Smith, the young linebacker from Notre Dame, with the biggest defensive play of the game right there. And you see the frustration on Drew Brees' face on the sideline. That's the one thing you can't do, Mike. If you're Teddy Bridgewater, you cannot take a sack.
They have some explosive pass rushers on this. We talk about Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, but they've got some explosive pass rushers on this Cowboys defense.
Cowboys are going to get the ball back, and they have a little under 2 minutes, so they only were able to run 15 more seconds off the clock.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Robert Christian, that was the mistake of all mistakes.
Yeah, that was bad. Fair catch there for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. So the Cowboys are going to have the ball at the 12-yard line. They're going to need about 50 to 55 yards to get into field goal range to steal a victory here. Dak Prescott has 14 game-winning drives in fourth quarters or overtime. He is tied for the most since 2016. So he's not a stranger to this situation whatsoever. Here we go, Mike. Call us down the stretch.
All
Cowboys
right,
and
yeah, Prescott, not too many better guys to have in this position. As Billy was calling out the stats here, 1:39 left in the fourth. Prescott back.
Oh.
And a sack for the Saints. Number 93 bringing down the house.
And did you see the tackle? When Prescott got tackled, they took out the leg of their left tackle, Tyrone Smith, and he is hurt.
Oh, he is limping bad.
They'll show the replay. His leg got folded up under Prescott when he was sacked into the tackle there.
They might have to pull off out a stretcher to get him. They're calling an injury timeout here.
Watch his leg bend backwards, Mike, when he gets tackled into it. Right there.
Oh.
Look at that. It's his ankle.
Oh, just...
His
Hopefully
ankle gets
that's not as bad as it look. Because looking from the angle, it may not be a break or even a sprain when you look at it from another angle. As I'm sure everybody knows that's twisted their ankles. Your ankle can be wonky. You can twist it bad and feel like you sprained it or broke it. And then the next day, you know, it feels 90%.
Yeah. Problem for the Cowboys, though, they just lost their left tackle. They're on the 2-yard line with a backup left tackle in the game. Here we go.
2nd and 21 for the Dallas Cowboys. Prescott out of the end zone, finds Ezekiel Elliott, who gets the reception, but just back to the 12-yard line, right back where they started at. 1 minute left in this game.
Angry boy, it was Tyrone Smith, the left tackle for the Cowboys. Appears to have a sprained ankle.
Prescott back, 3rd and 12. Oh, and he barely avoids another sack from 92, but did Amari catch that?
He did.
Amari Cooper gets a catch for a first down. Great diving catch from Cooper, but they only have 35 seconds left. 1st and 10. They need to snap this ball.
Timeout, Saints.
Oh, they're challenging that was a
Nope.
catch.
Oh, it's under review. I thought the Saints called a timeout. Big review here because it'll be 4th down or a 1st down.
Well, if you're the Saints, why, there's no reason to not challenge this.
It's under 2 minutes. It's automatic challenge from the booth review. You can't challenge if
On
you're
every
on.
play?
Under 2 minutes, the referees have to call for a review.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I remember the new point.
It's hard to tell that it wasn't a catch.
You don't think it was?
If you ask me,
Yeah,
this is gonna
it touched
stand
the
as a
ground
catch.
when he doesn't have complete control of the ball, I think.
It's real close. Right now, I'd say the play's going to stand.
Yeah, because
don't
they're
think-
going to have to have, of course, they're going to have undisputable evidence to overturn it.
Exactly. Just like we said, there wasn't enough.
Field stands, and they got a lot of different angles to see that from. You watch it from one angle, it kind of looks like maybe he was bobbling. Another angle, it kind of looks like he got the catch. So
1st down for Dallas. There's only 34 seconds to go in the game. Dallas has no timeouts.
thank you, Angry Boy. I remember that now. Prescott. Whoa, what was that? Did that get tipped?
They're calling it a fumble. I thought that was an incomplete pass.
I didn't even
They're
see
calling it a
hand come
touchdown
in.
for the Saints. They're saying touchdown Saints.
referees are talking here. This could be a touchdown for the Saints with 30 seconds left. If that's
The
the
Saints are
case, this
celebrating.
game is essentially over.
No matter what, this got to be reviewed. Here's the clip. We'll see right now.
Okay, what happens?
That's an incomplete pass. That's a forward pass.
He wasn't touched. He was off balance. It was just a horrible pass.
This is going to be an incomplete pass. It's going to be second down. 30 seconds to go. So,
But I mean, good on the
everyone just look at
Saints
that.
until you figure out what's going on. I mean, that's exactly what you need to do. Grab the ball and run in the end zone.
Yeah, but that's clearly a forward pass. This shouldn't take any time to review. But if you're Dallas, you're down to 30 seconds and you can't stop the pass rush. 2nd and 10 on the 26-yard line.
Yeah, angry boy, it was almost thought it was over there for the Cowboys. Prescott back.
Way
Big
over.
bomb over the middle and nobody
There's the
there.
flag. Pass interference on the Saints.
Oh, that is a huge pass interference. That could be the difference in the game.
Oh, it's on the offense. They're calling pass
wow.
interference on the Cowboys.
On a number 19, Amari Cooper.
10-yard penalty repeat, second down. So now 25 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 20 on the Cowboys' own 16-yard line.
Let's watch the replay because they didn't have a good angle on the field on that. The defenders
Yeah,
pulling Lattimore the entire time. Then he falls over and kind of flops. I see nothing that Cooper did wrong.
He pushed off, Mike. You can see it.
Where? Oh, there. Oh, okay. From that angle, I can see the push off there.
25 seconds to go. No timeouts for the Cowboys. And they need about 50 yards to get in field goal range.
I think you might have been a few seconds ahead of me.
Prescott's going deep.
Whoa, they're in the
Incomplete.
air into quadruple coverage.
Quadruple coverage. 3rd and 20 from their own 16. 17 seconds to go.
Jeez. Well, if there were 4 defenders on Amari Cooper down there all by himself, it seems like Dak Prescott probably could have found a different target.
Well, your Cowboys, you don't have any other choice but to throw it deep now.
And he almost
You need
caught
to
it.
get a
That would have
deep-
been amazing.
The Cowboys need to get a Hail Mary pass to field goal range and sprint down and spike the ball. This is their only shot.
3rd and 20, 17 seconds left from the 10-yard line.
He caught
Prescott
it!
over the middle. Oh my! Number 18, 10 seconds left. Do they have
9,
another timeout?
8, 7,
They got to spike the ball.
6,
5,
5,
4,
4.
3. Is he going to be
3,
able to spike it in
2,
time? 2. And
2
he
seconds
spikes
to
it
go.
with 2 seconds left. 46-yard line.
What a catch on the run by Cooper, though. Good night.
So Dallas, unfortunately for them, they're not quite within field goal range. It'd be around 70 yards, I believe. They're going to have to take a shot at the end zone.
But at least they are in range to throw it to the end zone now. That was a timeout, New Orleans. That was almost a 40-yard completion there on 3rd and 20. The Cowboys have the ball at their own 48. 2 seconds to go. 12-10 right now, Saints. And it's going to be a Hail Mary. We've seen it happen before, guys. Is there a celebration to be had on the Cowboys? Or will the Saints survive?
Smart move on the part of the Saints there, though. Wait for them to come out. Maybe try to get an idea of what formation they're going to run and then ice them with the timeout. I did see Spence and Porter. I was actually watching Spence and Porter on the left, and then starting, I think, about the 8th round, I was watching Machida and Masasi on the right and called both fights. 2nd and 10 with 2 seconds. Take it away, Billy.
Prescott back to pass, throws it as far as he can. He's not even going to get the end zone. Intercepted by the Saints. That's all she wrote, guys. Von Bell with the interception, and the Saints win it. A big win for this Teddy Bridgewater and the Saints. Final score, Saints 12, Cowboys 10.
And both teams now 3-1. And man, there's going to be some partying in New Orleans tonight.
But remember at the beginning of the game, if you guys go back, I said the 3 things the Saints needed to do. They won the turnover battle. They shut down Ezekiel Elliott, and they won time of possession. Those 3 things happened, and the Saints got the W.
Yeah, you're right. I asked you what they needed to do, and they did exactly what you said and got it. So, good breakdown. That bad dude in Green Bay does stuff like that.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers probably throws the best Hail Mary pass in the history of the game. Because he throws it really high and really far.
Yeah, he's got a good tight spiral for sure.
Very entertaining game, though, Mike. Finally, we didn't have a blowout. It was close all the way through.
Yeah, and I didn't know a lot about the Saints, but I was a little worried that one could turn into a blowout, and yeah, I was completely wrong.
Any Monday Night Football fans out there, we got the Bengals and the Steelers tomorrow night. Someone's O has to go. Both teams are 0-3, surprisingly. Can the Steelers actually start 0-4? We'll find out tomorrow night.
Yeah, usually it's the other kind of O's got to go when you're hyping that, but this time of the football season, yeah, both teams still looking for a win. Of course, Ben Roethlisberger, one of many injuries, he's still out for the Steelers, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's out for the year. He's done.
There's been so many injuries, I'm trying to keep track of everyone.
Yeah, Roethlisberger had to have elbow surgery on his throwing arm. And they're thinking if he doesn't rehab it right, his career could be over. Because he's 37 years old, so he'll be 38 when he comes back with a bad elbow.
Oh, yeah, that's getting towards the end if you're not 100%. I mean, 37, 38, that's really a big year. That's kind of when we started to see the decline of Montana, of Steve Young. Brady's, been a little bit of an anomaly. But I can think back to Warren Moon. I know it was, the start of his decline because he went to the Seahawks at 38, and we used to get everybody past their prime.
John Elway retired at 38. That was the age when he hung it up.
Manning was right around there too, right?
Manning was 39, about to turn 40.
Okay.
But if you listen to Tom Brady, he wants to be a quarterback through the age of 45. And there's no doubt he's still healthy enough. Because I believe he's turning 41 next year, right? At the end of the season?
Yeah, every year's pretty big. I mean, yeah, there's some guys that can do it, though.
That would be 4 more seasons after this for Tom Brady. And he has one of the strictest diets and takes care of his body more than anyone that I know of, so.
Yeah, I want to know what his deal is with not eating strawberries, though. I don't quite understand that one, but.
I think the thing that would take Tom Brady out is, of course, an injury, but if his arm strength goes, I think that's what would make him hang it up. But he still has a cannon, so if that arm holds up, I believe him that he's going to play till he's 45.
I think somebody needs to slip him a strawberry.
I truly do believe, though, when Tom Brady retires, Bill Belichick's going to retire with him. I think the two of them are going to go off into the sunset together.
I mean, that makes sense.
Because Bill Belichick's, 70 years old now?
Yeah, he's got to be right around 70. Speaking of...
Wait, Mike, I have the Spectrum thing on my TV now. You're right. I'm not even a Spectrum subscriber.
I'm not either. I don't even know if I can get it here. I don't think I can. But yeah, it must be across the entire nation.
Yeah, because it's saying you will not have NBC available after tomorrow if you're a Spectrum Sports or Spectrum programmer.
So Teddy Bridgewater...
What's that?
Teddy Bridgewater just 193 yards and an interception, And that shows you that as a quarterback, you don't have to go out there and light it up. If you manage the game the way Teddy Bridgewater did, you get a victory here. And the other side of it is like the game with Russell Wilson, 406 yards, 4 touchdowns last week, and they lose.
Well, that's an interesting fact. This is the first home game under head coach Sean Payton that the Saints have not scored a touchdown. And Sean Payton's been there for over 10 years now.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Robert Christian, I'm thinking kind of the same thing, man. I'm glad there's 3 fights on that title card because it might be entertaining to people that know what's going on, the in the know, the hardcores, the, semi-casuals. But the casuals that just tune into like a UFC or 2 a year, if they watch that, I think they definitely might hate that fight.
Hey, Mike, did you break the news that Holly Holm's out of the fight with Raquel Pennington?
Yes, we talked about that earlier in the halftime of the Seahawks game.
But she does not need surgery.
Oh, she does not need surgery, but she's not going to be able to compete right away, huh?
Nope.
And no real impressive stats for the Saints. It was just old school smash mouth football. Run the ball, play good defense, don't turn the ball over. One more thing I want to talk about quick before we turn over, though. I'm not sure if you heard about this. Nigel Benn is saying he's going to come back at 55 years old.
Oh, speaking of Nigel Benn, that boxing legends I showed you?
Yeah.
There's a big documentary on Nigel Benn and the guy that he screwed up in that fight.
Yeah, and these guys are really synonymous, and I can't think of the name. Somebody's going to remember him. I'm just going to Google.
Yeah, it started with an M. But that's one of the documentaries is Nigel Benn versus this guy.
Gerald McClellan.
Gerald McClellan, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the documentaries is McClellan versus Benn.
Oh, I 100% agree, Robert Christian. Going with the Diaz Masvidal. If people buy Colby versus Usman, I think it's going to be because you have 3 title fights on there. The Jermaine Durandamy versus Amanda Nunes fight, I'm not sure that fight really excites me too much either.
It's just another victim for Nunes to add to her history-making career.
Now, I don't know that the UFC will do this, and I think it's probably the right move, but I would push Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski to the main event. I mean, I think it's definitely the right move. I have no doubt about that. How the pay-per-view sales do, I mean, we would have to wait and see. But I definitely think that Holloway and Volkanovski should be the main event there.
It is the main event.
It's not Colby and Usman?
No, I didn't. When they talked about it on ESPN, they just said it was one of 3 title fights, and they still had the event as Volkanovski versus Holloway.
Yeah, but the UFC website, if you're going by that, they still have the Holly Holm Raquel Pennington fight on there.
Yeah, I'm just going off of the ticker on the ESPN thing that announced it.
Okay.
They were saying they added Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman to the pay-per-view card headlined by Max Holloway defending against Alexander Volkanovski.
Okay, good. That's the way it should be in my mind. I just wasn't sure if they were going to try to, because, I mean, as far as...
And Sean Shelby, would you really have Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington the main event after the fireworks of a Holloway fight? That would be horrible.
I wouldn't as far as the fight, but the pre-fight leading up to that to sell the pay-per-views, Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, as cringe as you want to call their promotion or whatever, I think it is going to get some people excited. Holloway and Volkanovski, those guys, they don't talk a lot, but maybe people don't care, and they're just like, oh, I want to see
Think
the
of it this
co-main.
way, though, Mike. Yeah, you can use Covington and Usman for the promotions because when Ferguson fought Cowboy, that was the main promoted fight, even though it wasn't even the main event. So you can still promote the card and have Holloway as the main event. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I was thinking, and that's what I would do. So if that's what the UFC is doing, I agree with them. And as critical as I was of a lot of things they were doing a year ago, I can point to a lot of things they're doing right now.
And not only that, I would have the Nunes Durandame as the co-main event. I would have Usman and Covington fight first.
In the 3 spot.
Yeah, because I think there's going to be a knockout in the Nunes fight and just a straight war in the Holloway-Volkanovski fight.
That's true. I hadn't really thought about that. I mean, I had thought about the fact that, nobody really knows who Jermaine Durandamy is, but they definitely want to highlight Amanda Nunes. Oh my God, Robert Christian, I'm dying. So I'm more excited about Askren versus Maya. I want to know what the odds are that Maya gets a knockout. When the odds come out, I'm telling you, I'm really thinking about betting on Damian Maya for a knockout. First knockout of his UFC career.
Really?
Ben Askren's striking is so unacceptable from a top MMA. And I love Ben Askren. I'll read his tweets all day. I think he's absolutely hilarious. I think he does trash talking in a classy, just the right way that I enjoy. But this guy cannot strike to save his life.
Can you believe that Ovince St. Preux pulled off another Von Flue choke again?
Well, that was crazy. And did you see afterwards? He was kind of self-deprecating. He said Mikel gave him the choke.
Yeah. He said he couldn't believe that this guy's giving him the Von Flue choke.
Like you're looking for that. I guess if you're fighting Ovince St. Preux, maybe you are. But
He has 3 of those in UFC competition now. That's incredible.
yeah, that's insane. How many did Von Flue have? You're going to have to start calling it
1.
the St. Preux choke.
Von Flue had 1.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And now OSP has 3 of them. And he's in a higher weight class.
I didn't get to
much
watch
higher
that
one.
whole card, but there was a lot of upsets, and my predictions were absolutely in the gutter.
Wow, Jared Cannonier is really having a career resurgence, is he not?
Oh, yeah, yes. See, I picked Hermanson. I lost that one. I picked Alex Oliveira. I lost that one. I picked Mikel over OSP. I want to say I think I went 2-4 on the main. The only ones I got was Madsen and who did Gunnar Nelson? Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the only 2 I got. I think I was 2-4. That's the worst I've ever done on a main card.
What's the next UFC card?
This Saturday, Adesanya and Whitaker.
Oh, I thought it was 2 weeks away.
No, it's here this Saturday, October 5th.
Wow, it's going to be a really busy week, huh?
Yeah, it is. A lot of stuff going on. Where do you bet it or with what? So here's what I figured out, Robert Christian, and I was going to talk to Billy about this. And the way I word this, it seems to me that this is 100% legal. I go to Oregon, which is a legal sports gambling place, and deposit my money on my phone in Oregon, so they verify my location. And then once you deposit it in your account, I guess I'm going to find out. I believe that then you can place the money. I believe it is just the transfer of funds that is the illegal part. So if you do it legally in a state where you're covered, I believe you can come back and then place your bets. But I'll give you guys an update on that. I'm not going to say it 100% and, accidentally say something illegal.
Yeah.
Reaper will win, I hope.
Should we shut this one down, Mike?
I got Whitaker in that one. Yeah, I think we're good for now after 8:30. Hey, guys, thanks, everybody, for showing up. Monday Night Football tomorrow. And then remember, October 1st, Tuesday, is the name change. Fights of Friends becomes Mike's Sports Experience, unless I flip-flop again and change the name. No, I'm joking. Guys, Billy, you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Do you need me to stay on the phone and talk after?
Yeah, you don't have to leave. I was just trying to you on.
Yeah, I'll see all you guys on Tuesday. Thanks for joining us.
All right, everybody. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses later.